I want said you tonight. I wanted you to be mine.
Why have I heard this before? Wait, no, what tune is this?
I wanted you to be mine,
Tonight.
but you left with no warning sign. Welcome to another episode.
Oh no!
of-
Wait, do you know what you was doing? It sounded. I'm sorry, I can't deal with that anymore. I can't do that the entire episode. It sounded like if anyone's played Far Cry, like the latest one, Joseph sings a song at the start and the end, and that
It does sound like it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You did,
He does sound like a bit yet.
what have you played?
I wasn't singing that, but I do think it's some type of like fucking like hymn.
It sounded like it's a Christian hymn anyway.
Yeah,
So that's
probably.
what it sounded like. But anyway,
God doesn't exist.
That was a story about.
whoa.
Oh,
Actually, I think you'll find God does exist in this world.
God exists.
I'm God. Whoa!
I'm offended. I'm thoroughly offended. As a Christian male living in a Christian state.
Oh,
I
you
am
don't count as a
thoroughly
human.
offended.
You're like half a human. You're like you're like an ant. You count as an ant.
Ant.
Yeah.
I'm-
An ant's half a human?
Yeah.
yes, because it's a wife of an uncle.
Oh.
Hey, I'll be here all night.
Get it. Hey, hey.
Mm.
You make me want to
Well, by
fucking
the
slip
way,
my
when-
fucking slope.
It isn't live this time, is it?
No,
No.
I can't do that on my internet went down.
Oh yeah, shit. You've got
Internet
the
went
shit
down.
internet.
Internet machine broken.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about some shits.
We're gonna
Some
talk about
shit.
We're gonna talk about some shits. We got some shits to talk about. I think honestly,
Because we really with the shits.
can we talk about memes for a bit?
What? Talk about what?
No, that's gay. You don't talk about memes. Memes just happen.
Meme
now.
maze. No, not
Meme-
create. No, like
What is it?
like
The
Insta,
meme review? Is this
Instagram,
fucking-
Instagram,
Yeah.
memes.
My memes
Yeah.
are on a different level than yours. I'm sorry. I just.
No, yours are the ones that everyone ignores in the chat because they're fucking shit.
You guys just no. You guys just
Where's
don't
my
have enough
phone?
IQ. You guys don't have enough high IQ.
We don't have enough IQ.
Wait. We don't have enough of a IQ. That's funny coming from the autistic kid in the group.
Autistic people are known to be smart. Smarter than you.
How is this funny?
That's a funny meme. Just the horse going back. It's a fucking cursed image.
To be fair, it's probably just because he sent it. If I sent it, it'd probably be funny.
No, there's more. I need to look at that account you linked. That like has like.
Oh, you don't understand how much I was. No one acknowledged.
I
them.
need to look
I
at it.
was
It's because there was.
dead.
That's like that's
I
before.
don't-
You know, you have some memes that are like before bed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You saved them. Like I just looked through. I saw the X one, and I was like, I've got to save that.
No, I was fucking. That one had me. Oh my god! I was just about to say had me dead. That'd be a bit disrespectful, but it literally, I was in tears.
So CJ put another one in and said, N-bomb. I'm not going to say that because, you know, we're politically correct here.
Nigger.
I ordered a pizza online from Domino's and selected the ranch. These N-word put the ranch on the pizza instead of the tomato sauce. I just called in a bomb threat to their store.
Well, that was funny because you read it out. It was...
And this shit has 6,000 retweets, 24k likes. Okay, that part's funny. That part's funny, but like the actual
Find where
content.
it is.
Because it's so far up the shits. But Instagram memes are good. Well, actually, here's a question. Well, obviously, I kind of actually, no, to be fair, YouTube has some good. Where's the best place for memes?
Instagram.
4chan.
No,
Instagram.
No,
Instagram.
see, this is the reason why you have the shit memes. This is like-
Instagram is easy access. It's on my phone. I can.
Because YouTube has some as well, still.
Yeah, but it's a lot more like.
It's hard to find.
Yeah,
It is
more
hard to
OC.
find.
Because the thing is if you compare the two, The homepage is kind of like the explore page, like the homepage on YouTube, just because it has a bunch of random shit that it recommends you.
Yeah.
On your explore feed, it recommends you shit. On YouTube, you're not gonna find memes recommended. You're gonna find like videos that you watch recommended.
And
On
also,
the explore feed, though, you have memes recommended.
and I feel like the way you consume them on Instagram is a lot more convenient because they
Oh, I
just
agree with that.
they play instantly.
Yeah, and
Whereas you have
because
to click
on
into a
YouTube
video
you
on
have to
YouTube.
have more often than not on YouTube you're gonna have a longer attention span, and on Instagram you just want to sift through shit.
Yeah.
So that's why it's convenient.
I see you.
You see me?
I see you.
We're all
see
happy
me?
I see you.
See now,
I see you.
Now CJ's just sent a meme now. If I don't laugh at this, then you kicked out of the group. I'm watching it.
We can't really show this.
No, I can't. I'm not laughing.
He's quite good. He's quite good.
But I'm sorry, this is funnier. It's just funnier. It's just better. Because what the fuck? Imagine having sleep paralysis and sleeping in your bed, just fucking breaking it down, and you can't do anything else.
Do you reckon there'll be
Oh,
categories?
man.
Like, you know how films have categories, like subgenres? Do you reckon there'll be subgenres of memes soon?
I feel like at that point, memes
There
will be
already is.
shit.
You
The
think
new
there- Do you
medium.
think there already is? Well, what
Yeah.
are they?
I mean, there's a life cycle. That's
Oh,
Is that a
honestly.
subgenre, you fucking retard?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Memes
What are
have,
you talking about?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Memes having a life cycle sounds gay as shit.
CJ's sitting here, we're talking about meme
Like,
genres, and he's like, yeah,
Not
life
even that.
cycle.
Like, even genres like memes. I don't think memes need to be anything more than a fucking meme. What? They don't need to have
What
genres.
CJ just said, that's like us talking about cars, yeah, and like what rims we're gonna get, and then him going, I like window tint. Like, it's like, it had nothing to do with the conversation. I think genres
Liberal.
will be a thing soon.
liberal. Shut up, liberal.
I think genres are a bit everything. Like, you've got CJ's like weird ass 4chan memes. That's a bit of a genre. And then you've got the
Yeah.
good ones, which everyone else.
They're
Like...
memes for fucking psychopaths and murderers. They're memes for people who look at their little sister and get hard.
Buy green
I
screens.
fuck with that. They're memes for niggas that look at their cousin at the family cookout and be like, I fucks with that. I only
Oh my-
fucks
So
with
wait,
all my
CJ,
What?
if I chroma key this year, is it gonna chroma key your green screen?
You could try. I don't know how to do it in Discord.
No,
You can pull some
no, but I'm on OBS, innit? So like that'll
you
work,
could.
right?
It would work. 'cause
Okay,
it's
right.
green.
I'm gonna try. Okay, so in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna be trying to get this working.
It's green pixels, so it'll go on.
Put a
anything
giant.
on screen.
Put some porn in the back. That'd be nice.
Yeah, on the Drivecast channel and get
Yeah.
fucking took down
That's the whole reason I got this, actually.
for porn.
Yeah, VR.
No, you didn't.
That and
It works.
Oh, no,
It
that-
genuinely works.
Oh, I want to see this. Can you take a
I
picture?
want to
on
see. Yeah,
Snapchat,
take a
please?
screenshot.
Hold up. There's
But
a
no,
little
I got it
shadow.
for,
There's a little
I got it
shadow and shit, but like, oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's cause my. But yeah, I got it for American Truck Sim mainly.
Do you know if you was my kid, right, and you lived in my house, right, and you tried to put that shit on the wall, I'd fucking rip it down. You're not having that shit in my house. Fucking take it
But
down.
Dad, I want to be a YouTuber.
Fuck off. Go and fucking work like a normal person. You're not going to be a YouTuber, you
I want to
fucking
be a
idiot.
YouTuber, Twitch
You
streamer.
fucking double.
What do I even put on it? What do I even put in the background?
Just can you get a screen grab of that last meme you said?
What? Which one? The one with the guy dancing?
Can't you just get that video actually playing on loop?
In the background
I
here.
probably could, you know.
That's
It'd be a lot
hilarious.
more effort. I'm just gonna find a funny picture I've got of CJ in my Fuckfest folder. There's gotta be one.
Yeah, there has to be one.
I actually
Out
don't
of
know
our-
what the best meme of this year has been.
There's been so many.
There's been so
Like,
many
can't
good
call
ones.
a bed-
There's
I
been
can't
like the past
call
couple
it
years.
easy.
It's been easy to chart.
Oh,
because
you
they
know the
have-
picture of fucking CJ with the Ryder gun
The what gun?
when he's holding Ryder as a gun from San Andreas.
Rider as a got. Oh, like CJ as in CJ the.
As
the
in,
protagonist.
as in, hold up, it's on the fucking screen. That one.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I didn't realize what you was talking about because you said
Yeah, I thought you were
CJ,
talking about
and I
me.
thought you was just referring to our season, not.
Not there.
Our CJ.
Our
Shall we
resident
own him? There we
Yeah,
go.
well, I do own everyone in here, so I've
reverse
receipts.
racism.
I nearly deleted my own fucking Instagram post. That would have annoyed me. Give me the likes. Give me the likes.
I've got a question after this. Once I sort out this green screen thing. Boom! It's working. Right, for you guys, just have a look. My question was going to be, because we've had a bit of a history on this podcast talking about food.
History, yeah.
I love food.
I love eating it. Like,
I love food. I'm a big
you know
dirty
what I'm
bitch.
saying? Like,
I'm
you
a
go
big
round the
dirty
creases and you
bitch.
go,
You know, I love that Reese's Pieces all on my cheese.
oh, Reese's Pieces, you know what I'm saying? We are
I
talking about
actually
Reese's
fucking
Pieces.
hate-
You
I
want to talk about
actually
me?
hate-
You want to talk about Reese's?
I've got to say this.
Richard.
I gotta say that I hate Reese's Pieces. I think they're gross.
You were just like, you were giving the cosign a minute ago with the ad libs, Leaf Ras. That's what I was expecting, and then
Snickers shit all over any other peanut snack.
Payday.
I don't know what
like
that is.
peanuts.
It's a payday
I like
bar.
peanuts.
Candy.
We don't have
Richard, did they payday bars over in liberal California?
that. Can you fuck off with the fucking political stuff? I will kill you, you fucking retard. Say liberal or fucking Republican in this chat again, and I will fucking kick you. All right.
It's just so funny because your webcam's like really slow on my end, so it's just like
It's
really
slow anyway. I bought it
motion.
for 20 quid. It's like 4
Okay, to answer your question, CJ, yes,
Oh.
we have Payday, but if you really think Hershey is the best fucking chocolate, then you're delusional.
If you think Hershey's is the best chocolate, that would explain your YouTube channel.
Nah, this guy likes Hershey's. I'm unsubscribing.
No. The best
him.
chocolate that we have here is I'd say Lindt and Cadbury.
Giardardi.
Hey, nigga.
Yeah, but you know Cadbury's up there. Malteser chocolate.
You know your boy got a motherfucking. He got a rapper though. He got a rapper though, but he ain't a rapper though.
Shout out to the sponsor of this video, Cadbury's.
Oh, Giardardi. Giardardi's probably my favorite, actually.
Jid what? Jid who?
This
Like,
nigga's making it work.
he's
Yeah, let
making
me
up
look it
brand.
Let me look it up.
You know, I've got my favorite. My favorite chocolate is Gulaga. It's Russian.
Okay,
Gulaga.
okay, hang on. Hold the phone. I may have said it incorrectly. This is what I'm on about. Ghirardelli. There we go.
Ghirardelli. That's nothing. Wait, what did you say before?
Giardari or something. I don't know.
Shitario! This shit sounds like a Minecraft biome.
Actually, to be fair, I've seen that chocolate before.
Okay, genuinely though, top 3 is in no particular order. It's Lindt, Cadbury, and Ghirardelli. Those are the top 3.
Never tried Ghirardelli.
It's very good.
Top 3 here.
I went to
for
their
me.
factory, and they had no more chocolate once I left.
Cadbury, Lindt, and I'm gonna say Maltesers. Maltesers are fucking gorgeous. Man.
You ate all the
Maltesers
chocolate
are nice.
there? You ate all the chocolate, so they're like, oh no, we're out for the day.
Wait, are Maltesers a British thing
Yeah.
only?
I think so, yeah.
Have you guys got Maltesers?
I don't think so.
I don't
Because you don't know what good chocolate is. No, bitch.
It's nice.
That's false.
I like Galaxy as well, but Galaxy is a bit oily.
Yeah, I get you. It's a
Oh,
bit
yeah,
salty.
like oily.
To be
I
fair,
like it
like,
oily.
Galaxy, by the way, Galaxy is Dove.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't like Dove too much.
We have Dove soap, but
No,
You're fucking
my
idiot. I know what Dove is.
God, what is wrong with you?
Dove the chocolate. Your brand, your equivalent.
This
your
guy's gonna come out and say something like, "I like, are you divided?"
See this? See
Yeah.
this? I would
No,
hate
no.
you if you
know
were my
exactly
kid.
you know exactly what that's like? That's like Jay saying, oh man, I like using links. I think your guys' equivalent is axe. And it's like CJ going, oh, the only axe I know is like a pickaxe.
The pickaxe.
Can we speak about why the fuck do different countries have to have different brand names? Like, why are Walkers called Lays in America and everywhere else?
Because we laying down eating chips, nigga.
No, first of all, it's crisp. Second of all, why do you have
Oh,
to...
hey, I'm gonna go put on my trainers. I'm gonna put on my trainers, guys. Hey, check out my new cool ass trainers. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I'm
Ooh.
sorry. What the fuck do you do in those type of footwear? Do you sneak or do you train?
Do you sneak?
So why you call them sneakers? I don't know. You sneaking your shit? What are you doing? What are you doing in those shoes?
I do more sneaking around in them than I do training. That's
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet
Yeah,
you
because
sneak
you're a
fucking
convicted
Spanish
paedophile.
ass
As we've confirmed on this podcast
You-
before.
You CP.
Let's not even get this started.
Let's not get into
You're
this.
literally a fucking convicted paedophile. So
Oh, CP stands for convicted paedophile as well.
It
yeah.
also stands for
Mad.
a lot of things.
Yeah, like
See, you're proving my point right now. You're not helping yourself.
Damn it.
And you know what the best part? Put your head down again. Put your head down again so I can show everyone. You got.
E.
I couldn't make
A.
it. Oh, ooh. I can't make that
CJ,
drop, otherwise you're gonna hear me see
CJ,
my
what-
nuts hang.
What's the point of fixing your hair? Like, you want it to go one way and the other side just flops back down.
Yeah, it's the fucking liberals, man. I hate them.
You know what will fix that?
Shooting yourself.
Washing it, right, and using a
Death.
blow dryer will actually put it into place.
Subtle death.
I'm not white, and I know that. My hair does not do that, but I'm familiar with how your Caucasian. I mean, I think your hair's like that as well, Cam. But
Yeet.
your hair's
Can we-
thicker.
we
I
trade
got
hair?
blow dry. Awake everyone up in the
No,
morning.
what I love, I love the Snapchats I get in the morning. I wake up, I'm in bed, and I get a Snapchat from Cam. I'm like, oh, and then I look at it, and it's Cam half naked, blow drying his hair.
You know I treat you good.
What you don't
I
know
treat
is
you
what
good.
you don't know is I've got those saved HD on a drive. Oh, that's a serious thing.
You don't realize how hard that was to keep the straight face.
I could see.
Here's like 10, here's 10
I'm
terabytes.
sorry, I'm gonna have to roast you. I'm gonna have to roast you, right? You know how we always came at CJ for having these fucking wonky ass pictures in the background, right? What are your pictures doing? They're just leaning up on the side.
Yeah, so obviously I can't fucking drill a wall in a house
Fuck
that
'em.
I'm renting.
Fuck 'em.
So
Fuck
they're
'em.
currently on my
Fuck
radiator.
'em. What are they gonna
I'm
do?
worried,
Do
yeah.
Just use tape.
you know what drywall is?
No.
It's
Should I?
dry.
You don't know what drywall is or wall filler?
No. I've never
Yeah,
needed
there's a
to
thing-
use it.
There's a thing called wall filler, and you just fill it and paint over it, and it'll be fixed.
Yeah, but like the painting here is fuck. Oh, that's just money. Why would I want to spend money when I can just?
I guess you're not gonna be there for that much longer, so.
I got another year, bitch.
Oh, but that's not long.
I got another year in this bitch. Then I'm leaving. And I'm
halfway
out.
Aren't we halfway through this year already?
Yeah, more than
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're leaning. We're leaning, and 2019 is coming, and then it's gonna
Isn't
be
it a bit
2020,
mad
and
to
Kanye is gonna be the president. You niggas are gonna be in some fucking civil war. It's gonna be like jets flying
No,
over. These niggas are gonna be in bunkers.
There's gonna be jets
Yes,
like dropping
uh,
Yeezy.
Have you guys seen that interview with Kanye where they're talking about slavery and he goes, 100 years of slavery? That's not.
That sounds like a choice to me.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
voice.
Have we seen that interview? I was like everywhere.
Fam, like honestly, you're gonna have like
Everywhere.
jets flying over with like Yeezy 2020 strapped to the bottom of it.
And
You're
it's
gonna
just
be in
gonna nuke
bunkers.
Yeezys down. They're gonna
Oh.
kill you with Yeezys. Yeezy grenades.
No, you're gonna be forced to wear them. Yeah, everyone's gonna have to wear that fucking shit attire, right? And people are gonna get sick of it. It's not even gonna be stylish anymore. It's gonna be like the Nazi uniform, but it's just gonna be Yeezys. And like Kim Kardashian is gonna be like the first lady.
On a level, can we like be serious for a second? 3 years ago, this time 3 years ago, we were getting hyped for Need for Speed 2015.
That is not a fallacy. That is a
I
correction.
don't know
That is
what you're
correct.
talking about. I was pretty hyped for Payback.
I mean, we were. Let's
I
not deny.
I wasn't, because I knew what was coming.
Jay had early access.
There was no way I was hyped. I was
was.
excited because it was a new
But the
game.
thing
but
is,
hyped,
even with-
no.
Even with Payback, there was that kind of. It wasn't as big of a hype as 2015 was, because even then, like when we had the trailer and everything, like we were all saying, like Cam, especially you were saying, like it just doesn't give me the same as the original
I said
teaser
that.
trailer.
I went, it didn't give me the right. "Ah!" That's exactly what I said.
No, but you were saying like the original, like the Payback reveal trailer didn't
Bitch,
give us.
that's
the
why I
same-
said 2015 and not Payback, bitch. You fucking listen to me, bitch.
CJ.
Well, I am. What?
CJ. You're giving
What?
me fucking. You're gonna give me a brain tumor with all the fucking hand movements. Calm the fuck down.
Well, I have autism. Okay, it's hard.
All right, stop using that as an excuse for your retardation. All right, I'll come over there and beat you and beat the autism out of you.
I'll come over with my 1,000 shooters.
I'll come over with 10. No, 10.
CJ's like, well, I remember when Cam was like, you'd have the extra.
Yo,
No.
shout out to anyone listening to this shit in public, man. Fucking hell. Turn this
Jay,
shit
that
down.
also means, do you know that? Yeah, that means 3 years ago, me and you did that first video on Underground 2 with the 2015 cars.
Yeah,
That was only 3, because that seems like it was like 5 years
That
ago.
That was
We
3
only
years ago.
We only did one episode.
No, you weren't involved because
Aw.
you're retarded and you
Wait.
haven't grown.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Because 3 years ago was also when we did that Toge shit in Underground 2. That's what I'm thinking of.
The gum tape deathmatch.
Gum tape
Oh yeah,
deathmatch
that's
shit.
never got a part 2. Although I do have a wheel here, so we can.
Can you remember when we used to do the LAN racing? Was it LAN?
That
Is
was
it called
so fun.
Most Wanted.
Piss take to get sorted.
20 Need for Speed Underground. 2.
Yeah, I remember we played tag and shit.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I remember.
Piss
I
take to
remember-
get sorted.
I
Though.
was doing that on a laptop, guys. I was doing that on a fucking.
No, like honestly, Underground 2 and Most Wanted genuinely played more multiplayer than Payback. Genuinely, that's not
Payback
even a
is
joke.
No, let's vent for a minute because I actually made a video on it, but recently something came up where I don't really need to put it out anymore. Yo, that game.
I don't want to talk
Frustrating.
about it because we talked about it last episode.
Do you-
But
Did we?
Yeah, it's fine. You do what you gotta do in it.
Let's talk about Super Street.
No,
Was
no,
that
you
shit?
no, you
No,
vent.
no,
You
go
know, you
on.
vent.
I
You
wanna give you a
vent.
vent.
You vent
I
when you
wanna
got a
give you a
vent.
vent.
Because if you want to do it, I have nothing to add. Because I think I've said everything already.
I mean, I get you. Just you kind of stopped me. I'm gonna let you stop me.
Oh, I want to hear you vent.
I want to hear what you had to say.
I know you want to hear me vent because you just love fucking talking about the game all the time. It's like-
Nah. Jay is the only one that gets to speak about this because obviously he's had sense of in that. This is a bit. I don't want to hear what CJ's got to see. The cops! The cops! I'm sick of the cops! I don't want to hear that shit. Fuck off, you greasy cunt. I want to hear that.
Yo, listen, don't call my nigga greasy, dumb mean. I'll make
Then
sure he
speak,
fucking
bitch.
Squeaky clean like a squeaky. What baffles me about Payback, and I know I've said this, I know everyone said this, but the pure like, can you actually remember how like gunned up we were for the next game because of the way they kind of fed it to us? Like they kind of like the under the hood article, the last one assured us that the next game was going to be that but better. And it just fucking wasn't. All right, it was the complete fucking opposite. Why is it telling me that you're online on Ubisoft?
Yeah, CJ, get the fuck off you.
Get off
please,
my
okay?
screen right
I'm
now.
not.
Okay.
What do you mean you're not? Like it hasn't come up on the Drivecast
I'm gonna be CJ
recording.
with the hand. I'm gonna do the hand gestures because this is how I am frustrated, right? Because
There's nothing on.
The other day, I literally tried to make a video on that game. I said, okay, I'm gonna go on the game. I'm gonna actually try and make a normal gameplay video. And I was so fucking annoyed by the end of the session. I didn't even put the video out because I was First of all, I went into the fucking game.
What, as in a live com?
Speed list. Yeah, speed list. I just wanted to do a normal video like that. So I've not done one in 7 months, right? So I went in there. I was like, I'm going to try and use a normal golf, like a golf that's not hardly done up and see if I can come high in the a bit of a challenge, right? I get in, okay? Speed list half done. I'm like, okay, I want a full one. So I backed out.
That doesn't work.
That was a bad idea because I was put
Why
into
do you
one
think I
that was
haven't done undefeated?
literally one race until the last one. So it was one race left. Okay, I was like, okay. Because my camera shuts off after 20 minutes. So I was like, I was kind of losing my shit at that point. Okay, reset my camera.
Can I just say, while you're saying that as well, think about how hard it is for me to do undefeated when my camera goes off after 30 minutes and you end up fucking joining midway through the thing and then you get put into an off-road race.
Oh my, let me carry on. So I've reset my camera, I've taken 2 deep breaths because I was pissed at this point. I wanted to punch my screen. So I was holding it in. Bear in mind, I work now. So I've got home from work. So I'm gonna record and try and get a video done. So I was tired as shit. I was tired and annoyed, right? So I've got into a speed list finally, okay? Full speed list. Everyone's in there, ready to start, okay? Starts. So it decides to put me in a drift race first. Slightly pissed because I don't like drift race I think it's shit on there. It's just terrible. The next one was a normal race. Fair enough, done the normal race. Then it was an off-road race. So one off-road race, okay, one less race to record. But I did it anyway. Then it was another off-road race, and the rest of them were just off-road races. And by the end of it, I was so angry, I just didn't even put the video out because I was watching it back, and I looked so angry in the footage.
That would have been good video though. What I'd said just made no sense. That would have been good video.
Lost it. But yeah, it was so unpleasant. I'm never gonna make a video on that game again, unless it's like a cinematic. Even then, the game looks like my asshole. So I just don't see the point.
To be honest, if I look back on it, that's actually a bit of an opportunity. Getting like genuine angle makes for good content. When people fake it, it's a different story. But when it's genuine frustration, when you actually want to fucking throw something,
like that GT Sport video that you did that time, that was fucking hilarious.
That was not
so
fun.
Angry. I know it wasn't fun for you, but it was fun to watch.
And then it's fine now. I go on now and I don't get rammed. But I don't know. I don't know. God,
that was a funny video. You should go on Forza. You should do it on Forza 7.
No, because on Forza I expect it.
Yeah, I guess. So
on GT Sport, where they literally have a sportsmanship level, they've literally made the game around esports, and I got rammed off the track not once but twice. There's fucking qualifying. There's fucking qualifying in that game.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say about. Rest in peace, Payback. It was not fun.
I don't want to say what you said about the game being better. It is better in every way on paper.
On paper,
it just doesn't play better.
Well, that just proves that there's a lot more to fix than just the physics.
I want to say something a bit against the grain, because I saw some people arguing about this shit on the Discord, and it got me like, people really think they understand game development. Now, I'm not gonna say Payback is a good game. I want to just remember as I'm going through this, keep that in your head that obviously I don't think it's a good game, but at the same time I do think people don't cut Ghost enough slack. Keep in mind they are half the size of Ivory Tower. I think it might be over half the size. They're a teeny studio. They're not small. I mean, they're not big, sorry. They're probably underfunded by EA. That's not a fact, but that's just a presumption. They're obviously on a 2-year cycle, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that much. Yes, you could argue, obviously, other companies do. But, and obviously they're forced to use a engine which realistically, let's be honest, they probably don't want to use. They're not like Forza or The Crew where they have these other engines which, are a lot more accessible. We all know problems with Frostbite. It's yeah, obviously Payback wasn't what we wanted, nor was, and then 2015 was buggy and Rivals was fucked as well. So that's 3 fucked games. But at the same time, can you really blame Ghost, underfunded, understaffed, and on a strict schedule? Under EA's reign, where they probably enforced the microtransactions with the shipments. That was probably EA's thing. I can only imagine.
I guess I didn't really think about it, but I would have assumed people would take whatever I say or you say with or what. I want to say CJ because sometimes I think you genuinely
get a bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope people take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm not belittling Ghost. I understand that they are.
No, I'm saying that in terms of a lot of people don't know that.
Of course, but I like game development isn't easy, in any sense. Even think about a really shit situation. Even I'm trying to think of a shit situation Destiny. That game was really not what it should have been. But at the end of the day, right, making a video game's hard, and like you, I think as well, we don't know what's actually happening behind closed doors of developers either. We don't. As much as we want to act like we do, we don't. As much as these big ass YouTubers who think they know what's happening behind the scenes, they don't know really. Like
Maybe
you-
some.
not everything, not everything.
Maybe some. That's what I'll say.
I wouldn't say I don't know, because that kind of knowledge shouldn't ever leave the studio, really, like that. Game development shouldn't really leave the studio unless permitted to.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Job doing that.
think about in this community. You know how like in other communities, like shit gets leaked all the time on like upcoming games and everything. With Need for Speed, nothing really gets leaked. If you know what I mean? Like we never get any leaks on stuff.
Forza gets leaked. It's
Yeah,
got
they get
for
leaks
the past
all
two
the.
games.
I'm
I don't even
talking
know
like-
how.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking
'Cause it's-
strictly. Then again,
Because
it's
they do
easier.
it on purpose. Like the whole game got
Yeah.
leaked on the store. All the car list, didn't it? That all got leaked on the
Yeah.
store.
I guess that's in game. It's in game files, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
obviously done on purpose. That's not a mistake.
It never happened before because it was on Xbox and exclusively. It wasn't on PC.
Well, Horizon 3 wasn't. Horizon 3 was on PC.
Yeah,
Horizon
well,
3 was on
I'm saying
PC.
like 2 and 1.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the spots
Yeah,
before that, they never got leaks because.
But
there was no way
I reckon it's a
accessing them.
marketing thing.
Oh yeah,
100%.
at some points it is. Like with COD, I have a feeling that it's marketing at that point too.
Oh, who even gives a
But-
shit about that anymore,
but-
man?
Yeah, but there are some gaming things where shit gets leaked all the time, and
Yeah, Rainbow stuff gets leaked from Rainbow a lot.
That's from the TTS, the test server, which the Crew 2 is also going to have soon. So the same thing will happen to the Crew
Ooh.
as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the same thing will
Ooh.
happen to the Crew as well.
now test server, would that be like anybody can get on that, or is that like
Yeah, PC only, probably. But like, I just want to say
Oh,
about
damn it, I'm Xbox.
I just wanted to say that about Ghost because, like, all I ever hear is bad shit, and like they were still open, but the difference between this and 2015 was that they actually thought they had something here.
Yeah.
It's like, and
And
that
you
was
can
just their
really tell.
delusion.
I don't know why you're talking about why this sounds new. This has happened forever. Like even when Black Box was a thing, they were getting shit on for all their moves. You may look back at those games and say, oh wow, those are perfect in comparison to the games that Ghost is making now. But realistically, if you look at like forums from like 2005,
yeah, you go back in the
2006,
archives.
you'll see people are just shitting
But that's
on
nothing
Most
like
Wanted
nowadays, because just
Mhm.
because of
I
the
don't know
nature
about
of it. And it's not because there wasn't Twitter back then, there wasn't Instagram back then, there wasn't YouTube back then, Facebook.
Okay, but regardless of whether or not those opinions are public, they were still opinions by people.
Yeah, like
But
I
the
like
scale of it now is so much more, and unlike then, there wasn't a mouthpiece back then, as where we're all mouthpieces now. There's more, there's bigger mouthpieces than us. Things have changed a lot
there's
more from
people
forum days.
people get influenced to
Like,
say shit.
like if back then you wouldn't see the people in the forums going to the fucking studio to improve games, like and go record early and stuff. You wouldn't see that. It's times have changed.
No, time has changed, but I'm just saying the need for you shouldn't be surprised because the Need for Speed community has always been like this. That's the point that I'm making.
But
Yeah,
that's the gaming community as a whole, though.
yeah,
Yeah, the Need for Speed one is pretty bad, but like there's a lot of other like that's not just
Well, of
Need for
course.
Speed exclusive. That's
Of
just
course.
that's just dickheads.
the thing is, it's pretty big with the Need for Speed community. I mean, you go back before when Underground got announced, people trashed that game just because it wasn't like Hot Pursuit 2.
I bet you
Hey,
would.
I was 3 years old at that time. I was not
If
part
you
of
was
that.
old enough, I bet you would.
As far as I'm concerned, the critical reception to that game was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
So,
But at the time, you go
and,
on
it's,
forums
and
and
it's,
everything.
it sold the best. So that
But
so
the thing is with that is that those people in the forum are literally the minority in the
Mm.
grand
no
scheme of
one's
things.
ever gonna remember what they're saying, innit? Like
Yeah.
when people when I think of Underground One reception, I think of one of the best saying Need for Speeds ever. I think of very, very positive review scores and a fond childhood memory. I don't think of people moaning on a forum. Now you come to present day with Need for Speed. When I think of reception, I think of okay. So with 2015, I think of listening to fans, mediocre review scores, and overall a buggy but fun game. When I think of Payback, I think of negative review scores, missed opportunities, and
Not fun.
incomplete game.
Yeah. Now, what's gonna be interesting is looking back, because right now we're looking back 10 years ago at Need for Speeds that came out 10 years ago, like Undercover, Pro Street, and all that. And going back, we have such fond like memories of even playing like games like Undercover, where we still have like great memories of playing that game, even though those games back then got panned. Are we gonna have now? My question is, are we gonna be looking back 10 years from now? I mean, you can't really answer this question, but are we gonna be looking back 10 years?
The people that grew up
From
on
now.
2015, I think so.
In 2015,
Because there will be
yeah.
people out there that people out there like 2015 was their underground or Hop Shoot 2 or whatever. That will be a thing.
Yeah.
Like really young people. I've got a question. At which point, like, do you think started the decline? Because I personally think it's Pro Street.
The decline.
Like
Decline?
where
I can actually answer this because it would have been so natural for me because I didn't really use the internet, so I was not influenced by anything but my own opinions. I stopped playing Need for Speed after when did the first shift come out?
2009.
Was that before or after Pro Street?
Pro Street was
After.
07.
So timeline wise, it goes Shift 1, then
Hot Pursuit. No, then World, then Hot Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit.
Just mainline games.
The last Need for Speed that if we're talking before Ghost, I actually genuinely played and enjoyed was Hot Pursuit. That was the last one.
A really good game.
And then I lost focus. I really just didn't care about Need for Speed after that for some reason. The run I never even played it. I've only played that recently. Yeah, I played that like 2 years ago. I didn't play the run at launch. I didn't even ask for it because I just really didn't give a shit. I was playing Forza. That's the game that swooed me. That game took my liking. If that was my predominant racing game, a Midnight Club. Forza and Midnight
Club. You probably
Club
don't know this, but
yeah.
The run was actually the first Need for Speed game to run on a Frostbite engine.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was on Frostbite 2 or was it 1?
1, 2, something.
So is this?
I'm not sure.
I
No,
imagine it was.
I think Rivals was Frostbite 2 because that was the next game to use.
Yeah,
Frostbite
it must
2.
have been because I remember.
Yeah.
Was it 2011 near when Battlefield 3 came out?
Yeah, 2011. That was Battlefield 3.
Yeah, because what I was gonna say is it was quite clear to me Pro Street was the start of the decline, and then kind of from there it went down till Hop Shoot came out, and that kind of gave it a little bump. And then Most Wanted 2012, I don't like it. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into that. And that gave it a bit more of a bump though, just because of the name. And the marketing on that was fucking amazing. I remember everyone who was with Machinima at the time got free copies.
Yeah.
So there was
And also
so many
there's,
videos.
It doesn't happen nowadays. Like it hasn't happened with the last few games that have come out. But I remember on TV there's Need for Speed Most Wanted ads. On TV.
But that's a game that would really like benefit from ads on TV as well.
Yeah.
I remember Hot Pursuit ads on TV.
I don't know.
You see, the thing is with that is that was just a missold game.
Which
to
one?
me. Most Wanted. That's just not Most Wanted, and I just
It was literally YouTube clickbait in game
got
form.
lied to fam.
It was pretty much Plan B for Criterion.
It wasn't.
Just like-
It wasn't Burnout because there was no stunts, there was no barrel rolls, no flat spins, and it wasn't Need for Speed because it wasn't grounded and it wasn't street racing. Like
It was some weird
It was
baby.
some weird like hybrid shit, and it wasn't like if it went full Paradise and it was stunt runs and barrel rolls and like misty flips and shit. Like fine, cool. That like I actually would really enjoy that because Paradise is one of my favorite races of all time. Like the remaster that came out, even though it's a remaster, it came out in March. I still and it came out when I was at uni. I still got like 4 days playtime in a remaster. I got stupid. I shouldn't have 4 days. Like no. So like if they did that, I would have really enjoyed it. And then if it was the other way around, then I would have really enjoyed that as well. But I didn't enjoy it because it was not either, and it was just weird. It felt right. It was literally, as Nina just said, like clickbait in game form. And then it went down again until 2015, which had a little go up again. It went up again, and then Payback. It's kind of going back. But maybe the next one might be another blip in the graph.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Payback spiked a downward trend. I think it just plateaued.
You think it stayed the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, on a technical stance,
It probably still sold a lot more than Rivals. To be fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
how many did Rivals sell? Only like 2.5 million or something.
I'm not sure off the
Less.
top of my head. But like I'm not sure off the top of my head. But you're probably right. You're probably right in terms of like Need for Speed hasn't dipped like really that much.
I know. Need for Speed got more than 5.5.
Yeah. Well, I think do you remember the YouTube views when they first came out for the reveal?
Yeah.
And how in 2015 the reveal of 2015 got more than Rivals got in like 2 years in the space of like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's ridiculous.
And
That's
this is what
so
I mean.
ridiculous.
This is what I'm saying, okay, we're gonna get into Tokyo Nights a bit here because this is why I feel sometimes, honestly, I feel like the minds, who's thinking, who's doing the marketing, and I need to be careful what I say, but the marketing, right, was so poor with Payback. It might actually, who the fuck was actually, who was doing it? Who was doing it? I want to have a conversation with them, right? Because 2015's marketing was perfect. It was spot on. The way they revealed it, the way they rolled it out, everything. Even the way they did the 5 ways to play, the girl speaking over it,
I was
the
about
car
to say
choices.
with that, do you remember the E3 trailer? It was like the start of a clickbait YouTube video where it shows the best bits and then goes back to the start. It's like the 24-hour challenges where they get stuck in the middle and then it goes back to the start. Like that's what it was.
Even down to the choice of the cover cars, like you okay, fair enough. The 2 cover cars on 2015, you never really see them in the game, but there was something about them, about the styling, about the actual
wraps.
choices of the cars.
The
themselves.
8.6 wrap.
The 8.6 wrap, the Porsche's color, the predominant green, there was something about
Just the
those
fact
two
it's
cars.
RWB. That was the first time in a game we had an
We've
RWB
seen something
kit.
so like
Yeah.
that wowed
Yeah.
us, that gave us something to be excited about. Payback, I'm sorry, right? The car choices are shit on the cover. That stupid fucking BMW, like no one gives a shit. Just because they got some deal with BMW, it's the only reason I was on there. And then
They could have really done that special though. Like,
of course they could. They could have made that BMW the fucking hero car, put a proper wrap on. They could have done something, but they didn't. Right? Instead, they thought, R34, no one gives a shit. Right? The shit color they chose, the shit character that fucking drives it. Everything about that game frustrates me. I cannot.
I don't know why they don't put more
how
effort
much it
into
frustrates me.
wraps. Surely they
Wraps.
must realise by the fact that they're adding the Rachel's 350Z into the game, which is in game files. So surely the fact that do they not realise the reason why they're adding that is because of the car itself and the wrap?
I know I just
They could
sound
legit-
like I sound like a moaning fan on Reddit right now, but it really does frustrate me because I actually see the potential in Ghost. I see it because 2015 was touching. It was feeling up the walls of that potential. All it needed to do was bust through, and it just never bust through.
Do you reckon
Actually-
off-roading's going to be in the next game?
I will kill myself. But
Probably,
if
sadly.
they've done the mechanics for it,
I don't think so.
I don't want it to be because it
don't
doesn't
either.
need to be in there. But
Most of Payback was
Off-roading
off-roading.
is in the next game, you know. I'm gonna fucking scream. I said on the fucking launch trailer, I don't know about off-roading. Literally a year late. It's been a year now since that video. I fucking hate it.
it's terrible.
It's not a joke. It's not funny. It doesn't make me. I'm not laughing. Like it's fucking a joke. Like
shit.
you're not Forza. You're not the crew.
It's not
Like,
even Forza.
fuck
Fam,
off.
just-
Like
it just doesn't need to be Need for Speed.
no, that's what I'm saying. Is Need for Speed
Even
trying
if
to
they
be
did
the
it
crew
right-
in Forza, and it's not
Even
either.
if they did it right, I wouldn't want it in there because it just.
What's this idea of people moaning about fucking barriers? I don't understand that either. What's wrong with having a wall that you can't leave? Like, why does every game have to be 100% open world? Why? Explain. I don't get it. It makes no sense.
I feel
Why?
like it fits some games, but I don't
Yeah,
feel like Need for
that's
Speed needs
emergent.
it.
That's what I'm saying. Why does
2015 didn't
every
need it.
single game
Yeah.
not like give me fucking barriers? Why
Especially,
don't, like,
especially when most of the 20 of Payback's map is just sand. It's just sand.
I actually enjoyed Ventura Bay. I actually really liked
Ventura
that
Bay
map.
was awesome.
I still
really-
drive around that map today and enjoy it because
You
it's
can
so
get
fucking
really
pretty
immersed
and
into it.
the roads are
Right.
great.
Here's something I've got to say: is
Yeah.
all of my favorite races, being Midnight Club LA, Burnout Paradise, and Most Wanted 2005. I've just said from different series, just for the sake of saying it.
Yeah.
All had closed maps,
Horizon 1,
and yeah, Horizon One all had closed maps.
where you couldn't just fucking go over a field like a retard.
Like where
Unnecessarily.
you wouldn't get lost in a race because you would start fucking taking, or no one could corner cut because you couldn't go over the fucking desert and like take a 1 mile fucking shortcut. Like everything was focused. I less is more
Yeah, at that point.
at this
Especially
point now
when they
with
could have
Ghost.
used
I
that-
hope they take a step back and start removing shit.
Yeah.
People will moan,
Especially-
but I hope they refine it instead of adding more shit. I don't want to see any more shit. As cool as it would be to see like drift charms and custom gauges and like I don't know, like fucking like NOS tanks and shit. Like I don't care. Like start taking shit out and refine the experience.
They gotta compartmentalize because with this, like you said earlier, the size of the studio they have, they can't be doing all this shit. They can't make a game on the scale of Forza Horizon 4. They just can't because they don't have the team to
They
do
don't
that.
need
They don't have
to.
the resources. They don't need to either.
It's a different game.
That's
They
the
don't need
thing.
to.
They need to realize what game they're making.
Yeah,
Not worrying about all the
they
things.
definitely
Do
lost
what
their
you're doing.
way.
I
Who
will
they're
say,
making it for is the main
what
thing.
I will say is they do need to watch their competition because that's just marketing. That's just
Not
business
too
practice. What I will say is that doesn't mean you need to mirror them.
copy.
Just know who you're making your game for.
I don't even think necessarily that looking at their competition is that important because what they do is so different to what everyone else is doing. No one else is doing illegal street racing at the moment.
No one's doing cops anymore, it seems either. So they can definitely make that like a big
what
part of the
are
game.
you really gonna take from Forza or the Crew other than maybe the shared open world, which they've already done in 2015? Like, what is there really there for Need for Speed to take? Because I can't think of anything.
2015 with Payback, it feels like they took elements from other games just so they could say that they took stuff from other games, and they took the worst elements of games, like the Crew. They took the car class system where you can only have certain cars for drag racing, you can only have certain cars for like street
And they
racing.
took it
yeah,
one
I
step
agree.
further though. They took it one step further to cars can't even go to max.
Yeah,
As in the
that's
Crew,
the
they
point.
can't.
I really don't like that system.
And then they even got it so you can only do certain cars in police chases. Like you can only do runner cars with cop. Like, what's the point? Why are you locking off content? It's given a false impression of more content.
Is Niner
that
asleep?
He's dead.
No, I know.
Richard,
What?
stop sexting your girlfriend and get on Drivecast.
I'm not on my phone. I'm literally just falling asleep.
This nigga, I've never seen anyone
My
fall
phone is
asleep
falling-
like that.
My phone's right here.
What kind of falling asleep is that? This
How are
nigga's
you-
dying-
How are you falling
This is
asleep
the-
when we're
How
talking
are you
very
falling
angrily
about-
about Need for
We're
Speed?
having a
fam.
conversation.
Because of the topic,
No,
the topic
my-
just fucking it's Payback. We say the same thing.
Man
about
literally
Payback.
just slept on us like, fam. Is this how the viewers are they falling asleep as
Yeah.
well? Nah,
I was just gonna say like one. I don't even know if it's worth me saying what I was gonna say. No, he just fell asleep. That's a
Good.
bit dead.
I was listening.
I was tuned in.
What I was gonna say is like I just miss the days of having one class.
Yeah,
Where everything
bring
was
that,
simple.
Bring that back. Bring
Like,
that back.
There's a reason why it's there for the Crew because it's gonna get longer support than fucking Payback, and it's gonna be more than
What do you
abandoned
mean?
fucking
What do you
cars.
mean? What class?
The car
So
classes.
the
how
car
it-
classes.
Oh,
Um,
but the thing is back then they had tiers instead
Yeah.
of the car classes.
Tiers
They had
would
tier
work.
1, tier 2, tier 3.
Not well. That was
the
carbon.
Crew.
Like even further back, There wasn't classes. Well, 2015, there wasn't classes. Every car was on level 1. And I don't know why people get annoyed at the fact that you can customize a Golf to make it as fast as an Aventador. I don't understand that. I don't
Why
understand that
not?
argument. What the
Except
whole
in
idea.
the last game that didn't really work. Like there wasn't really like in this game they made it a little more accurate with the
But why?
whole
But why should it be
figures.
accurate though? It's Need for Speed.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. They made it more accurate in terms of cars being locked at 299. So like most of those cars that got locked at 299, if you fully upgrade a Volkswagen to match an Aventador, I don't think the Volkswagen's really gonna do that great of a job keeping up with it.
But that's the point though, isn't it?
But my point being, in the last game, you didn't have that system, so you weren't able to really see which cars can really compete against what cars. But that's the other thing too is what I want is to be able to what's it called? I want to be able to upgrade my Golf to make it match an Aventador. I don't want it to be years slower, even though they're both upgraded and they both have the same what's it called, the PI.
Yeah.
Right. It's PI. Yeah. They have the same number. They should be able to compete against each other, but they just can't.
I want the upgrade system to be how it was in 2015.
Yeah.
The whole idea in 2015 of each car being your own is something which I think no other game is doing at the moment. The Crew fucking has thrown cars at me like a ridiculous amount, as does Forza every year. So I like having a game, like the whole idea of having 5 cars in your garage, the idea behind it is fucking sick. Like, the idea of these are your cars, like, these are the ones you're going to have. Now, yeah, garages and stuff should be a thing, and they should be fucking expensive at that as well. They should be fucking...
25,000.
It should be like $1 million for
Payback.
one garage. It should be ridiculously priced if you want to get garages.
That's what I said in my when I made my wish list years ago. I said I wanted garages to be really expensive,
Like,
because
not like, how much were they? Like 50k? Like
yeah,
100K?
25K.
No,
25.
they should be $1 million. Like, because then you still have the element of these are your 5 cars. Look after these 5 cars, and if you want to get more,
Cam, is it going to turn into the same issue that it had with pink parts, where it's too grindy? You need to find a happy medium.
I don't. Well, okay, maybe $500,000 then. But I just said $1 million just because it came to my head fast. But like the point is, it should be as much as buying one of the most expensive cars in the game.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's not even a grind, because it comes back to the point of focusing on the cars you have and making, like, not just wasting your money like you can in the Crew or Forza. Like, I have in the Crew literally bought cars for jokes, like Cadillac fucking touring car. I literally did one race with it and was like, I'm not using this again. I wouldn't have done that in the first Crew because money was so hard to come by.
Yeah,
like,
especially in the campaign.
I missed that from a game. I think 2015 did that really, really well. Like, there was a few select cars I've still got from launch. Like, I made Rose's Porsche and I've still got that on my Xbox save. And like, there's not many other games that like I would have kept it sort of thing. And I missed that. Like, the whole idea, everything they said from 2015, like urban car culture, you in the car, that like that is what they focused on. I
feel like a big portion of keeping those cars were because like in this game I could give a fuck about the tuning. Like I don't care. Like I feel like the tuning does absolutely nothing in
you put
Payback,
everything to the left and it makes it better pretty much.
But in Need for Speed, you had to tune your car in order to succeed. Most of the time, anyway. Sometimes you could get away with it, but if you wanted to be like top 1% of racing in that game, you needed to find the master tune for your car. Because like I've seen videos. I forgot what the race was called, but it's the one right next to the police station in
Peak Performance.
No. It's the one right next to the police station in the main area, the main city area. I forgot what it was called. You could run it in like a minute, 15 seconds.
I know which one you're on about.
I know that, I don't know the name.
Anyway, so it's in fucking Burnwood. I'll look up the name to it right now. But the the best cars in the game, like the RSR, can run that track in about 1:15. But I've seen videos on YouTube where people get A86s and they run it in 1:13. Like you can realistically use any car. You just have to find the correct tune.
And
But there
that
are
added
some cars.
so much playtime.
There are some cars though that are impossible to find the perfect tune for, just because every car had a unique handling model, and some of them really didn't work too well when you tried to find a tune. Some of them didn't have a master tune because they were just kind of shitty. Like I think an example of that was I feel like the BRZ was kind of a shitty car. I didn't use it. I didn't like the BRZ. If you tried to tune it for drifting, it just wouldn't work because it would get stuck drifting and you couldn't pull it back. Because you know how in Payback and Need for Speed, in order to drift, you would flip flap the paddle. You just go back and forth, so you get like kind of a fishtail motion going drifting. You can't do that with the BRZ because you just get stuck at that angle and you kind of not spin out, but you lose power and you aren't able to keep a good drift going.
It's actually mad how like the tuning added so much playtime, and that was like one of the number one complaints as well, was like you had to tune. And I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and like go along with that again because it's been said a million times, but like trying to find the tune for my R32 literally added hours on hours. I remember being on peak performance, like testing tunes like over and over and over, and it's like a lot. I guess that kind of goes back in the Crew 2 in a way, but it's a lot less so because the changes aren't as significant as it was in 2015. And in 2015 you kind of had to do it to make it work.
Yeah.
So it was obviously a bit different, but like, yeah, I don't get how people are moaning about the Crew 2's physics.
I think they're fine.
The only issues I've had are hypercars at high speeds. At high speeds, they can feel really loose.
I haven't felt that. Then again, I've only driven like 2 hypercars, and that's the P1 and the GT. I haven't really experimented with any of the others, but I really haven't had any outstanding issues with the physics.
And sometimes, like, you can fishtail, but like that's just down to your racing. In the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's not actually down to the physics. Like
The only
some people
thing
are just shit.
physics-wise that's kind of broke is the wall grinding.
Yeah, but that's not actually to the vehicle physics. That's just like environment. Like I'm talking about actually racing the cars. Like I don't really get why people are moaning. Again, people will moan for anything, but like
I mean, there's bigger things to moan about in the
I
Crew
feel
2.
like the only reason people don't realize is because the assists are hidden. And people, anyone who says that the assist, you shouldn't need to mess with the assists, you don't have to. It's like that confuses me. So that argument confuses me so much because they're assists. Like it's like if it's Need for Speed tuning where each dial needs to be perfect, then okay, I get it. But it's literally assists, like the turning the traction control off.
Yeah.
Like it's like people moaning in Forza if the traction control was always on and saying, "Oh, the car's understeering." Well, fucking turn it off then. It's like I don't get it. It's so stupid. What are you gonna say?
My mom came in, so.
I thought you were gonna say something.
But no, what I was gonna say is there's bigger issues in the Crew 2 to worry about than the physics. The physics are very I don't even have any issues with them, you know.
I was also gonna say, earlier on I mentioned the whole thing about people going at Ghost. The only reason why I mentioned that is because Bourne made a video today about missing traffic cars or something. I commented on that video because why are people making videos on the traffic cars? Missing traffic cars, like that it doesn't add to the world. Like basically, he made the argument that the missing traffic cars added to the world being bland.
What do you mean by missing? Like missing from the races or like scrapped from the game?
Scrapped.
Like missing. Oh, so missing car models.
Like tanker trucks and shit.
Just to intervene for a second, I found the race. It was called A Legends Wheels. That's what I was talking about.
But he made a video about fucking like tanker trucks and shit being seen in E3 gameplay. Then he mentioned police. And it got me thinking, like, do people not fucking realise that shit changes in development? And then he went on to the stuff that said that Ivory Tower misled people. And I was kind of sitting there thinking, okay, this is a year ago when the game is in pre-alpha at E3. And people are moaning about traffic fucking cars and cops.
The traffic...
Now, cops, yeah, okay, I get it. But anything can happen in development. Are people really that blindsided to not realize that development things change? There's console limitations, like the hardware limitations are so tricky to come over. The Lord knows that might very well be a reason why the traffic car's in there, because the consoles can't handle such variation or such population in certain areas. Like the whole thing with development, like it's like people don't fucking realize as humans making the shits. In a perfect world, I'm sure all of these things would be there, but compromises have to be made, and that was the reason why I mentioned the thing with Ghost earlier. Is people specifically don't really have that with Ghost.
What was I gonna say? Harping back to like missing traffic cars and everything.
Cops, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking leave.
I will later, but this is talking about strictly like the missing traffic cars and everything. That reminds me back when the Crew 1, when the Crew 1 got ported over to Wild Run, it got ported to a different engine, I want to say, or was it just like a different, like was it a different engine?
I have no clue.
Well, when they ported it over, there was several key things missing. Like before that, when you'd go into New York City, you'd have like New York City style. This is only something an autistic person like I would figure out, but there was like New York City style stoplights and everything. You go to Texas, the streetlights are like the Texas ones. Now it's all just one type of streetlight all over, which that's probably a limitation that they had to do with porting it to the new graphics engine. I don't understand why, but then again, I'm not an engineer or anything like that. So.
You have to think about asset limitations too.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why.
Maybe they couldn't have that many assets.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand it because I'm not in that field. I just don't understand. Like, I understand why there probably is a reason, but you know. So when it comes to stuff like missing traffic cars and all that, I can understand why some of that stuff has been pulled. Cops, on the other hand, I'm gonna bite my tongue a bit because I know that's a bit of a hot button topic, especially here.
So if you can understand why traffic cars, which are less to work, like it's just less of a thing, isn't it, than cops?
But at the same time,
cops are working AI. You can understand why AIs that just roam around and do nothing have been pulled, but you can't understand why an actual physics, like it's a thing, like a thing that they have to work on to make sure it actually works properly. You can't understand why that's been pulled.
This harps in more towards my whole feelings towards the whole atmosphere of the game and how it's like all legal and everything. That's a different topic for a different day, but I'm just saying, like, that could have very well been why they pulled cops at this point. But like the fact, I mean, it doesn't help that they had cops in the trailer. Like, again, you said anything can happen during game development, but at the same time,
I just want to point out
every time you say something, you
in the E3 trailer. I just want to point out in the E3 trailer, there's no proof of the cops actually working. It's just on the mini map. The cops in Payback looked like they were working at E3, but we all know how that fucking turned out. So as far as we're concerned, there's no evidence of the cops actually working in game.
That's very true. However, I mean, I just wish they had cops. That's the bottom line. But at the same time, like, that more harpers back. Like, I can understand it kind of being a hardware limitation, but at the same time, when you're having, I'm trying to think at this point, when you have like to scale back, I'm actually frozen at this point. I'll just straight up say that.
But what's that Windows noise where something
stops? You can Photoshop a blue screen back into my green screen there, but I don't know. I feel cops, now that they don't have cops at this point, I'd rather have them rework them to better fit the Crew 2. But again, that's a different topic for a different day. I can go on.
So let's move on.
You know what's cool about cops in Payback? Maybe they aren't in free roam, but you know what you could do? You could press the right bumper when you see a bait crate. You didn't think about that one now, did you? You fucking coon.
What are you talking about?
Talking about cops in Payback.
Yeah, they're shit.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're shit in the sense that they're not free roam.
They're better than 2015. Again, that's another people. But another people look past all the positives of Payback. I want to say this: physics are better. The car list is bigger. Customization's more. The cops are actually fucking work. Unlike the last game. Like, people always look past that. Yeah, they're not free roam, but what's the point of having free roam cops that don't do anything? Like, it's pointless. Like, there's a lot to Payback. There's a lot to
pursuit.
Payback, which is improved to 2015, but people don't give that the time of day, which I completely understand. But at the same time, I do think that's a bit harsh as well.
Going back to House, I mean, I could go on for days about how I don't like the atmosphere and everything about the crew.
You could go on for days, but you would just be repeating the same thing over and over again.
And then
videos on it, yeah.
And then CJ, forget your point. I don't think you should.
Because
And then
you
we're
don't
like,
have
everyone's
one.
ganging up on me.
There's
And
no
then it'll be the
point.
end.
The only point you've got to make is that you want cops, and that's it.
I
There's
want-
no point.
Actually,
no point.
there's a
There's
bit
no
more to that
logical
now.
point why you want cops in the game. You just want them.
There is. I
There
just
isn't.
prefer a more illegal-esque.
There you
Feel
go.
the
There you
game.
go. So that's you, isn't it?
That's not a technical problem with any of the games.
In my opinion, it's a feature. It's a missing.
Yeah, but that's
The thing is,
It's a missing feature.
But CJ, it's not a feature in the crew. It was never in the crew 2.
It's a missing feature from the crew one
It's
that
not.
I
See,
No,
like.
CJ,
it's
CJ,
not.
that's,
It's not.
that's,
That's funny.
fucking,
Because-
that's as fucking stupid.
Hang on.
No, that's as fucking stupid as IGN saying there's no drag racing in either 2015.
Fam,
There's
fam,
no drag racing to begin with
The crew-
anyway, so
the
how is
crew-
that missing feature?
the crew 1 is not a continuation of the crew. The crew 2 is not a continuation of the first game. So it's not a missing feature at all.
I mean,
It's kind of what, like,
it's a sequel. I expect
No, it isn't a sequel.
It's the crew too.
But it's,
Yeah, but it's
in
not.
that aspect, it's not a continuation of the last game. It's a rework. I see the crew 2 as what they wanted to do with the crew 1. If they couldn't fit police into how much is in that fucking game, fair dues, because that game is jam packed with shit. It's just jam packed with shit, and I don't really see how the fuck cops are gonna work with you being able to switch into a fucking Spitfire plane and fly off.
Disable that feature when you're in a car chase, just like you can disable fast travel when you're in a cop chase in the crew 1. It's simple
No,
as
but
that.
then that takes away. They've got to think about how that's going to work with other people being in the world with them. How that's going to, ricochet off of. It's a. What's the word? When something. It's a
Knock-on
domino
effect.
effect, isn't it? It's a knock-on effect. How is that going to knock on to the next thing happening? Too much is happening in that world for fucking cops to be driving around. In my opinion, it's
There's
too
only-
big. There's too much going on.
It's the same amount of people that were in the crew 1 per lobby.
The crew
and it's the
one
same
cops
map
with
pretty
big
much.
fun.
No, it's not. It's not the same map in the slightest. Have you driven around it? It's
the same
completely
base
It's
different.
map.
bigger. It's
It's
bigger.
huge, and like
They
obviously
extended it a
it's-
bit, but it's still the same
No,
base map.
and it's vertical as well. You can go on top of every single building in that game. Think about this. Think about how big it is. Every single building, you can literally plant your car on the top of it. That's
Put it this way.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but the thing is, how often are you gonna be doing that during a car
Doesn't matter.
chase?
The point is of the scale of how things have changed since the original map. Even areas like Times Square, areas in LA they look completely different.
Times Square looks nearly the same as it did in the crew 1.
It doesn't.
It does.
can look at
did
the
not
photos,
really
CJ,
they
think
look
CJ, you
different.
really
They look
aren't paying
completely
attention to detail then if you think that way.
I think I'm just gonna say this. We're not saying that cops should not be in the crew 2. We are simply trying to make you understand why they're not there.
Oh no, I understand why they're there. It's
So
obviously
why-
not part
why-
of their vision. But
But look,
thing is-
it's malicious, fam. You're malicious against it.
yeah, because I don't like their vision. That's the thing.
Which is fine. You have a 100% valid
I much prefer the
point,
crew 1's.
because it's your opinion. You have an opinion on something that you have an interest in. I don't like how Payback is. I think a lot of the choices are shit. Off-roading does not need to be in the game, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
But I understand why it's there. I understand why off-roading is in the game, because they're trying to
Yeah, they're trying to
cater-
pander off to
They're trying to
people who want
cater
that.
to everyone. They're trying to cater to
Yeah.
the people who like Forza and the crew. They're trying to get every fish they can. Like they're not.
And that's exactly what the crew 2 is trying to do, what I feel.
No, because the crew 2 has done it though. There's a difference.
But
yeah.
it has it.
The thing is, yeah. And I don't it doesn't I feel like it doesn't work that well, the whole atmosphere thing. I mean, with the planes and boats and all that, it works all right. With the racing, however, in my opinion, it does. I was talking to Stelio about this earlier, and he's like, with the pro racing, it feels very slapped on.
Stelia's never played a
doesn't
game
have
in
the
his
game.
life.
Yeah, but that's
So
what he's
how
saying.
can
Like,
you-
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
anything
he hasn't
game
involved
fun.
it. He doesn't have the
Oh my
you
game.
can't give an
Well, I'm
opinion
just
on
saying,
something you've
well,
not experienced.
Fine. Let's just bar him out then. What I'm gonna say, bar him out. I don't. That's probably not English, but then let's just talk about the street racing because he was on about the pro racing stuff and how like you can't do qualifying.
I just want to say the pro racing isn't tacked on in the slightest. The only reason why there isn't qualifying because it's a fucking arcade game. I wouldn't want to be sitting there. Like I said, I play Gran Turismo Sport. I don't want to sit there doing qualifying. It's fucking boring. Like the more confusing thing about pro racing is why there isn't a Laguna Seca thing for the Alpha GP and the touring cars. Shit like that's confusing. That's stuff that needs to be addressed. Why it's literally Laguna Seca is modelled and licensed in the game.
They don't
It's
have
not
a race
used,
there.
and it's not used. That's stuff that's confusing, but it
And
doesn't
it's
feel
stuff like-
tacked on. Personally, I think the whole festival atmosphere has been really well. It doesn't feel like a Horizon knockoff. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be something else. It feels like it's very much being something new, and then capitalizing on the boats and the planes. I fucking hate air races. They're awful. I hate
Oh, the air
powerboat
races are
races.
the air races are
Those are
shit.
the two modes I can't stand. But the freestyling events and the jet sprint events are the
Yeah,
those are fun.
fucking
Those are fun.
sick. Like
Yeah.
the sense of speed.
The jet swing. I did
those
this
are
for
awesome.
the first time the other day, and I was like, "This is sick."
The
It's
sense
so
of
quick.
speed. It feels a bit twitchy at the start, and that's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, you do have to. Yeah.
But that I think that just comes that's a kind of a good thing for me because I feel like it actually makes the fucking class feel different. It's like it's a completely different experience to racing
To
in
the
a
normal
powerboat.
boats. Yeah, and the jet. I'm not a fan of the jets because I felt like the ghost that I was chasing was just so much quicker, and I never understood
I
why.
hate
air
the,
ra-
the,
for the
air
air
racing
races,
is not fun.
But
But then you
Can't
go
say
over,
everything
is shit.
then you go over to the freestyle and it's
Freestyle's fun,
completely
yeah.
different.
That's
And-
I find that quite relaxing.
Yeah.
Quite relaxing doing that.
Meditating.
And then,
I like it.
but the point I was going to try to say with that is, I feel like they have catered for everything because if you don't like the air racing, then you like the freestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about vehicle specific, not even just classes as a whole. If you don't like one thing of the boats, you'll like the other thing. And if you don't like one thing of the airplanes, you'll like the other thing. And if you don't like one thing with the bikes, you'll like the other one. And I disagree heavily on what you're saying about catering to everyone hasn't worked. In
The
this
variation.
case, this isn't like Payback. They've done it right, but it's just the end game is now what they need to focus on, and they will because obviously it's only going to get better from here.
The variation of actual vehicle on that game is a bit absurd because they don't feel the same. Like
No.
street cars don't feel the same as touring. Touring
They
doesn't
don't.
feel the same as
Alpha
F1
GP.
or that. That doesn't, rally cross cars don't feel the same as.
And I said that in my
trophy
review.
trucks.
I said that in
It's
my
not.
review. So the classes feel different, but then inside the classes, the cars feel different.
The
So an
subclasses,
F40
yeah.
is going to feel completely different to an 8C. As a Lancia Delta is going to feel completely different to a Citroen C3.
And that's one thing I feel
you
like they
can't-
fixed from the last game.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
last game, a lot of cars felt the same.
Yeah, a lot of
I
them
feel
felt
like
the
they
same,
fixed that.
sounded the same. The sounds are improved.
And then you've
definitely.
got to
I
think
love-
about that on a coding level. That's fucking
Yeah.
work. Like, so,
Yeah.
and then this is what I come back to the police. So every single fucking car in the game feels different to each other, whether that's within the class or subclass. And then you've got to think about the coding for that and how that affects the world. Then the world's been remodeled, so the planes and boats have been used. There's jet sprint races, and the level design for jet sprint specifically is fucking mad. Like the shortcuts and stuff, they've really put a lot of it. If you actually pay attention to it, that the areas specific made for it have completely changed. And then even like the street racing areas, the drifting areas, like the drift tracks, and then all of that, if you think about that all as one in the short time they've had, they've so much. I think they needed another delay purely based on the fact that there's no
PvP.
end game and multiplayer. Multiplayer doesn't exist. This game should not be always online. There's no reason for this game to be always
There
online.
isn't any reason for it to be.
But with that being said, carry on.
I feel like saying how there's no cops in the game doesn't make any sense because if you look at the game from literally face value, your goal is to be a pro racing legend, and you work your way up, and that's the whole point of the prologue. Where the fuck do cops correlate with that? They don't.
Now,
There's
what I
driving,
was-
cops being in.
I was
There's
coming more from a development time standpoint.
I know. I'm just going back to CJ's point because
And I can address that because what I feel like they could have done better is you start off illegally and then work your way up to become.
No, but that's
a
not the point.
professional.
That's not.
But the
point.
thing is, you actually are doing that because
But that
Latrell
doesn't
in the game
work.
talks about Latrell in the game talks about how we're doing this illegally and everything,
But
and
you're
how the
competing
hypercar
in pro
races.
races at the same time, so that's a complete plot hole.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like it should have.
Exactly.
been more
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly.
You
just
disproved your
But
point.
no. What I'm saying, I'm saying something that's in the game. Because when you're doing the hypercar races and you're doing the street
CJ,
races,
it's not.
going on about how this is illegal. We're not supposed to be doing this. This is why we need to go legal. Like at the
Yeah, but
same
he's not
time.
talking. He's not talking about them while you're doing the races. He's talking about history.
No,
That's
he
wh-
is.
That's why in the cutscenes it shows the fucking like 1920s fucking people in like racing moonshine and shit.
No, he's talking about the races you're doing. That's exactly what he's talking about. And especially in races like the accident. He once that part happens, he's like, this is why we need to go legit, because if we're going legit, there will always be someone standby to help. Like you're still doing it. The game
But
doesn't feel illegal at all. I'll give you that. Like the game does not feel illegal at all when you're doing the races. Even the hypercar races, which Latrell quote unquote says are illegal as hell. So like
CJ,
you are doing illegal races.
I think you're missing the whole point. If you're doing episodes of that I forgot what it was called, the
Extreme
the last
series.
Extreme series. You're doing street racing in that. So how is a looking? I mean, I know it's not real life, but looking at it from like a televised point of view, you're not going to fucking televise street racing. It's just they're racing on streets. It's not track racing. They're racing on streets.
If you want to get, if you're getting,
no, you're not.
No,
Let
the
me
thing
finish.
is, no. I'm sorry. When I know what you're on about, but those like if you're going to like a very deep sense of the game, those are like the like televised portions of the game. The actual like I'm talking about like the street races you're doing for Latrell and all that. Those are all under the radar, if you know what I mean. Aside from the ones where he's like, oh, we have a closed track, but a lot of them are like, oh, we're not supposed to be doing this, especially with the hypercar races. Hell, even in Latrell's car, it's in the mission Latrell's car part 1, that one woman from the crew 1 who actually makes a reappearance in the crew 2, she comes up to you like, why are you guys here? You guys usually stay legit. Why are you here at this outlaw race? So like those are illegal, but the ones when you're doing like the live series, those aren't. I mean, then again, the game doesn't really do a good job of showing you, like telling you that, hey, this is illegal, because they all feel legal because there's no traffic barely. There's no like there's barriers everywhere. There's sponsorship everywhere. So it does like misinterpreting that they're legal events is like.
Do you not
it's
think that's
easy.
done on purpose because they probably couldn't fit in cops? I
Fit
think
in?
it's probably done.
I mean,
If that's the case and they were supposed to be illegal, they've thoroughly done that on purpose because they didn't have enough time to. They obviously got rid of cops because they, for whatever reason, didn't fit in with the vision. It didn't have time, whatever. They've obviously got rid of them and they've covered it up, trying to make the theme look completely legal. And it comes back to the point of that huge plot hole which I've literally just mentioned.
which makes me hopeful. I don't want to do any spoilers, but at the end of street racing,
Just no spoilers to spoil.
no spoilers. But at the end of the street racing thing, it, like Latrell kind of gives a non-answer to whether street racing should remain on the streets or not, and that kind of leads me hopeful into believing that it'll branch, like the street racing thing, they'll expand out off into
And then
two
make
different
another
things.
shit expansion, like fucking what is it?
Calling all units. They made that in a
No,
month
no,
when they were
no,
making
what
the
was it?
crew 2.
What
Calling all units.
What was it? Law and Order.
Calling all
Cops and
units.
robbers.
Law and Order.
I don't know, like,
Special
Isn't that a
Victims
TV
Unit.
Isn't that a TV show?
Yeah,
Special
it's a
Victims
good,
Unit.
it's a good TV show.
Sorry, me. But Calling All Units was made like they didn't even show that off at E3 2016. They showed that off at Gamescom.
Compared to everything else which needs to be in the game, faction missions. We all know PvP's coming. There's cops on the list of things that need to be added on the game. Cops is towards the lower end, and I'm saying that. I'm saying that from a reception.
That will make the game last long, right?
Longer?
In the longevity, like imagine all the fucking work that's got to go into putting cops into that game.
Yeah, probably.
Just
a
think
ton.
about it.
Especially
How
if
much
they are
time,
doing what I'm thinking they're
right?
doing.
And so imagine if they do that and it isn't really that good and it doesn't work that well, and then they've got to fucking fix that, and time's got to go into fixing that. It's like, is it really that necessary, or would you not rather wait for a Need for Speed game, Need for Speed to fucking fix itself, and they do it because they're the people that need to do it? The crew does not need cops in it.
I
Just
Nor
like-
does
just-
Forza.
Just
Nor
like Need
does
for Speed
Forza.
doesn't need
None of
off-roading.
them
It's the
don't
same
need
thing.
cops,
It goes both ways.
I don't feel like they need cops. I just don't. Can you remember Test Drive?
yes.
Can you remember how
Which one?
pointless the fucking cops were in that?
Which
Didn't
one?
need to be in there. Both of them. Both of them. They didn't need to be in
The,
any.
the cops in the Test Drive Unlimited 2 were the worst I've
The
ever
worst,
played.
but they were mediocre in the first one.
But
as
the
well.
crew, I mean, Test Drive Unlimited ones, they were out of the way. Then again, that's all they need to be for the crew 2. If someone doesn't want to do the cop
And they're
events,
pointless. Why would you dedicate fucking time in developing the game to adding something that's going to be worthless in the long run?
same goes for the planes and stuff. Like again, it's all
No,
about
it isn't
choice.
because
with the crew.
planes
it
are
isn't.
integral
What the
to
fuck?
the game.
Like they even said with the crew 2 that like if
No,
you don't want to do the
It just
planes,
like
you don't have to.
address what I just said. Planes are integral to the game.
Again, they're one of the main things of the game, yes, but at the same time, their vision at Ivory Tower, they even said this on their streams. They're like, if you don't want to do the planes and boats, you really don't have
But
to.
you do. That's a lie. You do. If you want to get to the last event in the game, you do.
Yeah,
That's a
obviously,
lie.
if you want to complete the entire game, yeah, but at the same time, like, you really doesn't have to.
Not even the entire game. If you want to complete the story, you have to.
CJ,
And the
you
thing is
don't
with the
have-
crew,
you don't-
going back to the crew,
you don't have to play the game.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, even with the crew 1,
That's
the cops,
that's
you
the
did
point
have
you're
to-
making.
Oh my god. No, you don't. You can only like what I'm trying to say is with the crew 2, I know like with Ivory's vision, it's like to make a game that satisfies a whole wave of people. And the thing is with the crew 2, like if you don't want to do the planes, you really don't have to. Like yeah, like we want you to try it, but you don't really
But you
have
do.
to.
But you do if you want to complete the game.
If you want to 100%, you have to.
Yeah, but then again, like that's 100%. If you just want to stick to
That's
street
not even
racing and nothing
100%.
else,
Who
you
the
can.
fuck's why are you buying a game for 50 plus £?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like some people do
It's
that.
not even 100%.
you know
it's
what
not
it
even
is, you know-
100% though.
That's marketing, fam. The reason they said that is because a lot of people thought the attention was gonna sway away from racing. The reason
Haven't they said that with Payback?
what?
If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. Didn't they say that with
I
Payback?
don't-
That exact same phrase was used with a different game, I'm pretty sure. That's marketing bullshit. If you want to,
Yeah.
it's not even 100% in the game. If you want to finish the story,
Forza. It's
the
Forza.
base, was it Forza?
It's
It probably
Forza,
was
you
Forza,
know,
because in Forza you probably actually don't.
talking about how if you want to different ways to make money and stuff.
Right.
Oh, Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, so if you don't want to race in the game, after you can just make raps. Is that, yeah.
That's bullshit.
But that's bullshit. Like, and I'm not even saying 100%ing to finishing all the skill challenges, all that shit. If you just want to finish the story and do the last extreme event, you've got to do every single class. You are required. I got stuck past the second one because I didn't buy a motocross bike, and you need to buy a motocross bike for it. It's bullshit. You need to do it. You need to go through every single class. And like I said earlier, I feel like they have catered to it, because if you don't like the power boats, you'll probably like the jet sprint ones. And if you don't like the air racing, you're probably going to like the freestyling. And if you don't like the street racing, well, there's drag, hypercars, which is the same, but like drift, etc., etc. So I don't really get the point there.
It's also like
Adding on to
saying it's also like saying in Need for Speed Carbon, oh, you don't have to do Wolf's exotic races if you want. You're just not going to complete the game. Yeah, I know. You have to if you want to complete the game.
Literally. That's like saying if you go to Subway, I want a meal deal, but I don't want a water. Well, well, I don't want a sub. Well, you're not going to get the fucking meal deal then. That's not how this game. That's not how it works.
Game.
Oh, give me. I want a meal deal, but just the water, please. imagine working and someone asking, I'd be like, nigga, I'm calling the police. You fucking psycho.
Can I get
Yeah, no, I don't
meal
want
deal?
it. I don't want it. Like, sir, you have to take the sub. I don't want it.
Can I get a meal deal with a water?
Let me get.
No sub, a water.
No sub.
That's literally what you're saying.
Go into fucking McDonald's. Let me get a Happy Meal with no toy. No toy. Oh,
If you're
Let me get a Big Mac, but I don't want the meat or the lettuce. I just want the tomatoes.
Who puts tomatoes on Big Macs? Fuck
But
off.
that's the point you're saying. It's literally the point you're saying.
Yo, listen.
The thing is,
all in all, let me ask you this final, because this is going on too long. Let me ask you this final question, ZJ. Are you enjoying the crew too?
I wish there was PvP. That I
That's
will say.
not answering the
I
Black Hawk
will
question.
repeat
That's not-
myself.
That's not
I will
answering the Black Hawk question.
I will repeat myself. Are you enjoying the crew too?
I for
No. No.
It's complicated, okay?
Third
It's a
time, yeah.
complicated-
Third time, I'll give
Yes
you.
or no?
Just because you're retarded, I'll give you 3 options. Yes, no, maybe. Or no, 50-50 then.
I'd say about
Are you
50,
enjoying?
50-50. I don't like the.
I know. I'm not. I don't give a shit why.
Oh, okay.
I don't care why.
Well, we're on a podcast. I'm gonna give you anyway. I don't
No,
like the
this topic is
atmosphere.
done because I'm cutting
Jay,
it
are
off.
you
for
enjoying the
too
crew?
long. Yes, there are a few things I wish were in there, but yes,
Like
for all in
cops.
all, it's refreshing. I have not played a racing game like this in fucking months, so yeah, it's nice to have one. Like, genuinely haven't played one in months.
How
I've
long
not
do you reckon you'll
Payback
play it
in
before you get bored?
I'm gonna say another 2 months. That can last. I think after another 2 months, I'm
So
gonna
you
start
reckon
getting
you'll
bored.
last until basically Horizon comes out?
Yeah. And I think Horizon will take over because there
lack
will
of
just be more
PvP.
to do. Yeah. And I will fully put myself, like, I will try and get back into it once PvP comes. I'm not gonna say I will get back into it because I remember
I think you will.
if everyone else here is playing, I probably will get back
I
into
probably will be.
it. So
Because keep in
yeah.
mind, every 3 months, it's in December. We're not only getting PvP;
We're getting a new discipline.
it's a new expansion.
yeah, okay.
Because it's like Rainbow, isn't it? So it's every 3 months there's a new expansion.
Yeah, so I probably
So,
will
I
stick
think
my dick back into it.
because I said this in that video I made before launch about the PvP not being there. And I said, if that's the case, it will last us up until Horizon. Obviously, we've got Gator Rush coming out. And that will last us up to Horizon. And then Horizon will come out and it will be on the back burner, which I don't really want it to be. Like, but I'll go back for the 2 new cars each month.
No.
Because obviously, like, it's free shit. Like, why am I not going to? And
So when does Gator Rush come?
September.
So when do we get 2 new cars next month?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
End of this month.
We don't know what they are, do we?
Negative.
There's FXXK has been showing one of the trailers, so that could be it.
Ooh, give me the dollar, give me the
But other
dollar.
than that, like no
That's
one
gonna
really
be
knows.
OP. Is that gonna be a touring car?
Yeah, so it probably will be an
That-
FXXK in there, and I'm pretty sure another one got shown. But I'm not sure. It might have been a Harley Davidson, but I'm not sure.
And I think that's one of the only things I actually keep that's probably going to be keeping me going is because I want to get to Icon 600 so I can get the LaFerrari before PvP comes out.
I don't know if I've got enough attention span to do that.
Because-
I want to
like-
max out my cars because I don't want to come PvP and then everyone have maxed out
Yeah.
cars, and I don't want to.
And you gotta remember, before then, gold parts are gonna be coming with Gator Rush, so you're gonna have to do it again.
What do you mean?
Nah, you won't.
I'll do more point parts.
So another level of like
They're adding-
variety. But how I see it, for me at least, is if my car's 280, it's good enough. If my car's 320, it's good enough. If it's at the max level, 3 extra perks ain't gonna make that much difference. Like that's how I see it. So as far as I'm concerned, what I'm gonna do is for the classes that I really enjoy, being street racing, drifting, hypercars, touring cars, Alpha GP, and rallycross, I'm gonna max those out, and then once I've done that, I'm done. And that'll last me till the Horizon comes out, I think.
So Cam,
Baby.
what show are you enjoying the crew too?
Oh, I am enjoying the crew too. It has
So,
gone-
Super Street, the racing game.
No, fuck off. I'm
yeah,
giving my
fuck
answer,
off.
you bitch.
I'm
I'm enjoying it, but it's gone on the back. It's gone on the. So I didn't fucking interrupt you, yeah, and now you're interrupting
I'm
me
so
like a
sorry,
fucking little bitch.
I'm sorry. Arigato.
What was I saying?
You know why he interrupted you? Because he's a coon.
Oh my god, that's
Wow.
racist. Demonetized.
Goodness.
Demonetized.
Report.
Hey,
Ban.
no one's watching it. Now we're in
Oh,
27
so-
minutes in.
Wait till like one of us has
27 minutes.
Yeah,
An hour and 27
Oh,
Oh, I was about to say what the fuck off. No.
you a coon, you illiterate.
Wait till like CJ blows up off of one of his cop videos to 27 million views, and they go back through all the old Drivecasts and they find all the N bombs we've all dropped. And we're not- oh, that would be bad. No, so the Crew 2, it's on the back burner a bit. I've been playing a lot more Rainbow as of recent, but I'm enjoying it still. I'm still playing it. You know, we still balling, we still upgrading cars and shit. But I'm obviously not playing it as much as I did in the first week. I'm not gonna have another 3 days playtime for another 2 weeks. That's really bad. 2 weeks, you know, and I'm working. Mad. But yeah, it's all right. The things that will keep me back are the updates. I just hope that they add more races because there's not enough races. In
Yeah,
it.
they need to add more meat to the bones.
They need to add more hypercar races.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
Because
more?
I love the
Just
hypercar races. As
like-
much as I don't like the street races, I love the hypercar races.
Update
Like,
faction missions on a weekly basis.
Adding a faction would be a great idea, actually. Like,
faction, yeah.
so you
'Cause,
can.
like, Or just
Purchase
teams.
agents
You could do
one.
teams because it's pro in it. So you can have like a wolf team, raw.
I don't know what kind of wolves you know that raw.
And
Because I know wolves don't raw,
and
fam.
then have like a pig team for like freestyle.
No, they have the elephant. They have that giant ass elephant. for
And
the
then
freestyle
have
that they
like
have
I
in
don't
it.
know.
Mammoth. Some mammoth.
What and then what would you have for a pro one?
A nigger.
Shark.
A shark.
God.
Shark would be good. And then for off-roading, you should have a hillbilly.
Pig.
Just have a hillbilly.
Just have a pig's foot, like, just in a jar.
Hey, my name is Billy Bob Joe.
Have a Trump flag.
And then you just like and then you just have one for each class. So street racing has one, off-roading has one, and then updating weekly. And then
You know
give
what
them
they could
higher
do?
payouts, and then boom.
They could put like.
Yeah, and not abandon them after
No,
like a
let me
year.
tell you what they could do. They could put like a car at the end of every faction. So you have to climb like a rank, your own personal rank in the faction. If you get like that max rank, you get a car, it's special, or like a special. I don't know, like you get a special charm on your car or something. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind.
Woo! Faction
Well, what you were saying,
niggas.
like you know how Rainbow Six.
I want to get special paid DLC.
Oh yeah, give me that paid DLC. I like it. I like the card
Jay,
DLC.
you know how Rainbow does Ubisoft Club events,
Yeah.
and you can get like charms and stuff on Rainbow.
Oh yeah.
So,
I got you.
there was one that went past for the 4th of July. If you won a certain amount of games with all the American FBI squads, like I think it was like 5 rounds, you got a charm like for something about 4th of July. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a bell or some shit. Something like that would be really cool. So weekly rewards where say you unlock different clothing for your character, or like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. To be
I
fair,
don't want that, but yeah.
if there was
Guaranteed
fucking
per
like a
part.
onesie one,
That
imagine
was
your
funny.
character being in a fucking onesie. That'd be hilarious. Like
Go
I'd
fucking
do
fursuit
that.
or
Or-
something.
I'm trying to think of another example of what things they could. It's a car game. Well, it's not even a car.
Winter
It's a vehicle game.
winter race in only 6 gear.
No,
or something like that.
because I'm thinking more shit like
Seasonal.
it could be seasonal. Like win this race 5 times and you get a bait hoodie. like that. That's what I'm thinking of. Like I think that could add a lot of shit. Like genuinely. And then obviously you get extra money for doing those Ubisoft club events. Or better yet, like I said with the faction, there's a lot of things they can do. I just think Endgame, they'll fix it. The game in a year's time is gonna look completely different.
Yeah. I just hope they add more kind of like different avenues to where you can go.
What is it
game
gonna
can
be
go
like in
down.
a year's time though? On a level like
I wonder what PvP is going to be like.
Well, you see, I'm not sure because remember back when the crew came out and we all disliked it. We all showed our distaste for it. And so what happened? Why the fuck are you pointing off the
Because
screen?
Yeah, you're pointing like over here, like
Because
what?
where I am, I'm pointing to you.
Well, is the podcast on your point of view? No, it isn't, idiot.
Where I'm,
because you up here right now and then we up here like you know what I'm saying? I'm here.
I didn't.
I
shit
don't
on the
like
crew
this
one.
nigga right here.
Oh, you know he's up here though. That's
Hey,
me.
that's me.
That's me.
That's me. That's
You
me.
pointing to me.
Stupid
How many
asshole.
times are you gonna call
I don't
out
like
my-
this nigga right here.
That's CJ though. You
How many
diagonal.
times
Such
are
a
you gonna?
stupid
How many
asshole.
times are you gonna call out
How
my
many
skin
times?
color?
How many times? How many
That's
times?
fun, CJ, nigga.
CJ, listen, you fucking spotty cunt, right?
Oi.
I didn't clean your face, right, before you come and talk to me.
You
Alright.
let me
That's called bullying. That's
die.
called harassment.
Will
That's
you
called
rather
bullying.
die for
Stop
me,
cyberbullying me.
man?
Stop cyberbullying me.
Right, no, please carry on.
So we used to not like the crew numero uno.
Yeah.
We were not big fans of it, but
The crew is next gen trash.
okay, I get. How many times are you gonna fucking interrupt me, you fat sack of shit? Holy shit! Fuck off.
I like the alliteration there.
That is real anger.
Yeah, that's
No,
a
no,
man is
shut
a
the
man
fuck
has
up.
got to
Shut
The
the
say-
voices, they told me to do
Shut the
it.
fuck
Did you
up.
just hang on? Did you just say because you repeated shit? That's alliteration.
I don't know. I'm too-
Yo, this guy, fam, did you actually? Are you in school or what?
Calm down, freaking math teachers.
I don't even know. Yo, can we wrap this up? I don't even.
So, Super Street the game.
Oh. That's
Hey.
that's the title for this video. So Super Street the game.
we almost
talked
spoken about it
You
once.
said that like 4 block times.
We got more on that topic because
That game was supposed
No,
to.
Right,
be
can
the
we let
topic
Noina
of
go,
this
please?
video.
Can we let Noina
I'm-
go?
Oh,
I
talk, then you
am
fucking
talking.
weird
Shut
concoction.
the fuck up, cunt.
Fucking stupid.
Shut the fuck up then. Shut the fuck up then.
Go and speak then, dickhead.
So the point that I was making is your question, Cam. You said we all hated the crew one originally, but after that we really liked the Wild Run. The Wild Run expansion was a good expansion.
Very good, very good, good
Arguably-
one. Good,
Arguably, it's one of the best. It's probably top three. In my book. It's
Arguable.
probably top 3 in my book. And
Yeah,
after
Whoa! Just
I-
repeat what you said, please. Please, just repeat what you said, please. Just go back a little bit and say it again. So I was zoning out a bit.
is probably top 3 in my book. As far as expansions go, the Wild Run expansion was probably top 3 expansions for racing games.
it's a very niche.
South Central,
So
Big Surf Island.
And Wild Run, easy.
That's
Actually-
that's fair. That's fair in my opinion. That's fair.
it
Drag
was, a
racing,
better-
drifting,
it was one of the
monster
best improvements, but I don't know about
For me, Wild Run added like more than 100 hours.
That was
of
what
life.
kept
That's
me
because you're
playing.
weird though. You played Need for Speed World for like 10 years.
Yeah, but that's different though. I was a little kid.
Don't look at the fucking you don't know your ages and
I can't think of many expansions that-
your ass, nigga.
I can't think of
I
many
mean-
expansions that are better than Big Surf Island Midnight Club and then
Blizzard Mountain. Oh man. Sorry,
because
carry on.
it genuine that yeah it did genuinely keep me playing and that's one of those things. The summit literally you could go on now and there's still be shit to do.
But you see, that's the point I was gonna make. I myself is liking the Crew 2 just because it's literally Wild Run the game.
Without
In
the
my
replay
opinion.
value.
I think it is Wild Run the game without the replay
Sorry.
value. But in a year's time, which was the original question, I feel like it's gonna be a lot better than it is right now.
Yeah,
So
I hope they kind of move away from the whole.
how are they
festival
gonna?
thing.
How are they gonna?
Yeah, you
build-
haven't said that about fucking 60 times.
How are they gonna build upon that?
Hey, you gotta add more end game in this motherfucker. They gonna add more
Yeah.
Well, they've said they're adding more disciplines.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
boy,
is gonna be
that's-
interesting to see where they go. And they have like when you're in the whole like family thing, they have a whole extra slot like right next to that.
You gotta keep it in the family if you know what I mean.
So they're probably gonna add more families too.
What are they gonna add disciplines wise into street racing?
I feel like they're
Running.
Yeah, actually physical running.
Running.
CJ, you're not allowed to speak in this next section because otherwise we're not never gonna hear the end of this. I don't even know how to say this to be honest. Oh, you're smiling. Stop smiling, you fucking twat. No. If they did add an outlaw section, that would be welcomed.
That's actually what
I
I
didn't
no,
want to
you're
say
not-
it.
you're not
I didn't
allowed.
want to say
You're
it.
not
I
allowed
didn't
to
want to
talk.
say it. It pains me to say that shit, you know.
What, man? That guy, the fucking guy, the Chinese guy who speaks to you all the time.
No.
Go! The cops are coming! Go!
It would be
Oh my
welcomed.
god, did you not hear me? Oh my god, I hate you! Go! Like, what the fuck is that voice actor? And you know exactly which one I'm on about. The one that fucking always just tunes in like,
Only
Wow,
if
your
it's the
sleeper
one.
car just woke up in a big way.
this guy knows the lines, fam. He's memorized the lines. I
Yeah,
do
I
know
know
them
them in
off as soon
Japanese
as it
too.
starts
Yeah, I know
He
talking.
knows
the
them in
Japanese
Japanese too.
too. I know the Japanese as well.
Like, oh my goodness, that the voice acting in this game is poop. That is one of the worst things out there.
I know one thing they could add.
Whoa,
I just
what?
woke up. MotoGP.
Ooh.
Oh, the bikes.
Yeah, like F1
Oh, they've
bikes.
not got
They haven't got
I haven't.
No. That is something I want to see. That would be fucking sick.
That would be interesting.
Because like they've got like everywhere else but the pro racing.
I mean, I think I've said this
Yeah,
before,
that is
but
true.
they could add buggies.
Yeah,
Sand buggies.
Haven't they already got? I swear they've already got a buggy in the
They
game.
have got a huge ass buggy, but I mean smaller ones. That
Yeah.
are, like you know the
Oh yeah.
Go-karts.
Go-karts
KTM
could-
things. Are they KTM?
I know
Those
the ones
little...
you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm on about? Are they
Yeah.
not
Wait,
KTM,
sorry.
are
What? I zoned out. What did you say, Jay?
they? Buggies, like sand
Like,
dune buggies,
yeah.
not the big one.
It
There's
was
already
on
a massive
it was
one
on
in
the
there,
Grand
but,
Tour,
you know,
wasn't it?
And there's sand dunes in the game as well.
yeah.
It was on
Or
the
they
Grand Tour.
could add sailing boats.
Yes.
I know you
Airliners.
think that the sailing boats, like you fucking them niggas like be fucking
Yeah.
flying. You should
Yeah.
watch one of those.
Yeah,
They're
I saw.
pretty
I
insane.
saw a.
Even though I'm not a fan
Top
of
Gear
any of
something.
the apart
Wait,
from
wait.
jet
CJ,
sprint.
What? Why did you do a hand motion like they're gonna add in kayaks? They're not adding in kayaks.
I like that.
I'm trying to think what they could add.
Oh, truck
hill
like,
climb?
Truck racing.
Oh,
climb.
hill climb.
Hill climb
Yeah.
could be added. That would be sick. I think
Lorry
honestly,
racing.
if they added hill climb with like adding the fucking like Pikes Peak Quattro and shit, that'd be fucking sick.
Time
Um,
attack.
Time
Yeah.
attack. Time
They need-
attack.
That's something
That
they
could be
need, they
fucking
need to
sick.
add more variety to the different
Yeah.
disciplines. Because with street racing, it's just street racing. There's no time trials. There's
And
no
then adding to
elimination
the actual current discipline. So imagine drifting Laguna Seca.
Imagine doing toge runs. They have them the whole mountain area. It's no longer all snowy. They can add so many toge runs.
And adding
there.
more races to each family per season and stuff. That kind
more
of stuff.
and they could add more rural races as well. They can add more races in different cities.
I feel like
I've
after
driven
this
around the
first
map.
year,
Yeah.
after this first year, they're gonna have the foundation laid, and you know how Rainbow every 3 months genuinely feels like a new game. I feel like after that point, it will start feeling like that more.
There will be a
and
different
currently-
meta, a different meta.
Not
every
meta
couple.
because you can just and with Rainbow, it's a bit different because there's such little. It's like less is more, but obviously with the Crew 2, there's loads. I feel like what will happen is each update will be meaningful, but once the foundation's laid in this next year, it will become much more so.
Yeah, there will be much more of a playground for anything and anybody.
The game will be more replayable.
and
all the
I-
bugs
yeah.
will be ironed out. It'll be much more balanced. That's one thing that every time I do constantly is balance shit. For example, you know that thing where you can spin a bunch of times and get bare XP with the monster trucks.
Yeah.
That's been patched already.
Yeah, now it's just lane splitting. What I've been doing is I've been driving around Washington D.C. in a circle, just lane splitting on a bike, and that.
Because I didn't even know, but apparently, if you did loads of loopings, you could do the same thing in an aeroplane. And there was another one that you could do, but they patched 5 XP kind of exploits.
Yeah.
Which
Now
is
the big
mad
one-
because the game hasn't even been
Yeah.
out for a week on normal launch.
Yeah. I mean,
A week and a half, yeah.
the big
Okay.
thing is you can just lane split now and get that, but still, that's good how they're doing that. But at the same time, I kind of wish they're can you still get XP from doing it? Is it
Yeah,
just
but it's just capped at
Oh,
a
okay.
lower
Okay.
level.
then that's fine. One thing that they need to add more meat to the bones. Now I have driven around the map a bit, in the cities, and I have noticed you know how street races start in parking garages. There have been parking garages that have that entrance and the thing you could drive in, but there's no races that ever start there. So that hints at I think there was one in Brooklyn. There's one in Dallas, I think.
Well, that's
So
just
that
an
hints at
area to
more-
add, isn't it? That's just an
Yeah,
area for that
exactly,
more.
exactly.
I want them
Yeah.
to expand to Canada.
I
Oh,
actually,
God.
the thing is, you know how
Mexico will
in
be litty.
the thing is, you know how in the Crew 1, when you drove down to Mexico, you'd have the border station, and then how in in the Crew 1 you
They
had
tell you you can't go there. Yeah.
and then
I
in the
wanted-
Crew
I
1,
was
and then
gonna-
also when you went in Canada across from Detroit in the Crew 1, you had that city and that bridge that went over, but you couldn't go there. It had a city and everything, but in the
I
Crew
don't
2,
think it was a model city, CJ.
it wasn't, but I'm just saying you had those things, but in the Crew 2 you don't have the border station nor the city. Those are both gone. So this could just be me oddballing it, but at the same time this could be them planning ahead that if they wanted to add in Canada and all that, they could. They're just kind of laying we might not even do it, but if we want to, in the future.
What
We
do
can
you
do it.
guys think of a road trip mode?
Ooh, what
That'd
do you
be
mean?
cool.
What would it?
So basically, There'll be different. So every single major city in the US is pinpointed on the map, and you can pick one destination to the other destination. It'll give you a random route to the destination. Big payouts in cruise usually, or you can do it solo, and it's literally just a road trip.
So you don't have to get there in a certain time.
No, it's literally just a
No.
road trip,
I can see
and
that.
you can do
happening.
yeah.
I feel like that money that you earn
That's
is a
bit
little too easy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
If they're
it's
really
gonna-
long though,
if it's gonna be big, if it's gonna be like
like
you
a little
have
bit
to
more than the New
race,
York one, hypercar race.
I'd say that about 70k would warrant that, because if it's any more than that, it's just gonna be too easy because you don't have to.
And obviously, the
Right.
shorter the race, the shorter the payout, the smaller the payout.
Yeah, like you can't do New York to
Or
Washington.
better
DC.
yet, have the landmarks on the map.
Yeah, why they landmarks is something they need to add back because those were good.
Like have the landmarks on the map, and then you can pick between the landmarks, because
Yeah.
that would give me a reason to roam around the map. That's why
Yeah.
I mentioned it, because I don't think there is a bit of a reason in the photo ops, but not really. At the
Oh, I
moment.
just use my plane. I just go to the. I just use the plane.
Also, if there were the road trip mode, it'd make it so like you can invite like other people aside from your crew, so you can have like a full lobby of people. Road
I just want to see
tripping.
more endurance races as well. Why there's no like fucking like 50-lap touring car races is beyond me.
You should be able to
Because that
choose how
makes
many
such
laps you want to
sense.
do.
Like, that's another thing, is endurance racing could be added.
Yeah.
With like fucking Le Mans cars.
Yeah.
Instead, like the breadth of that game, they can literally add anything they wanted.
Endurance. Just
NASCAR, Taylor.
Call it endurance, isn't it?
Yeah, and literally, have your touring cars in there as well, and then like the fucking 919 Le Mans Porsche and stuff like.
I
all
bet
that
at
kind of stuff.
least one thing we've mentioned today will get added in the future.
Yeah, probably.
In the next year, I would not doubt if MotoGP makes the most sense, because I can't, because like the bike kind of fundamentals are there for it. Well, maybe not a MotoGP license, but like an actual like race bike thing, I could see being added, for sure.
I can see that. I'd like to see. I could see stock car racing being added. I could see that somewhat being added
They
as
can
well.
keep that. They can keep that.
I don't think
Well-
I can see that being added.
I
Yeah,
can.
it's a little niche.
Just because it's more of no, I mean like because it's more like NASCAR because it's more like a staple to American auto sports. I don't know. That's
Or
just me though.
just the oval.
That no, maybe I don't know.
I mean, I guess I
That's-
understand.
I mean,
the appeal.
Stock car racing is more than just an oval, although that
Because
is
there
what-
is already oval racing in the game.
Yeah.
There's already a track for it, and it's
Yeah.
it's in I want to
It's,
say
it's Indianapolis Speedway.
is it no, but it's in
And
the
New
circuit
Jersey.
class.
It's in the game. It's called Little Eagle.
Is it
But
touring
there's also
cars
Jersey.
that it's in? Is it might be in
Yeah.
the touring car class?
Yeah, because there's the one of the layouts in the Jersey track is just an oval.
And I'm pretty sure one of the touring cars is a NASCAR, isn't it?
I have not taken a look, so
Like it's like a stock car. Like it's like one of the Chevys. I'm pretty sure.
I haven't really looked that deep
yeah.
into touring.
It's not
Is
a traditional touring car.
No, but it is like a stock car. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it
pickup.
is though. It's like
a
a pickup,
pickup
innit? Yeah, pickup.
Yeah,
Is it
Chevy.
Silverado?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's like truck racing. Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
really fucking low. It looks sick. But yeah.
Yeah.
might
That
be-
lorry racing. That would be cool.
No, I don't want to see lorry racing. in the
No,
game.
First of all, please don't. say
Why?
lorry.
Wait. Why did you call it that?
Don't say lorry
Because not to get
European,
confused with like truck racing, like the
You
pickup
are-
truck stuff.
Then you say semi truck.
semi or 18-wheeler. Fun. Chill out.
18-wheeler.
Or was it 16-wheeler? I don't know. I had a game called 18-wheeler when I was a kid.
Right.
Are we done? Or
yeah,
you
should we
got
talk
into
about-
I had a game called Concho when I was a kid.
I had a game called Uncle Secret.
I had one called Road Rage.
Hey.
Look at this tan. Look at this tan I've got.
Wow.
I used to
That's
have a pretty
ridiculous.
nice farmer's
And I'm
tan,
brown.
but, like, it's not bad anymore.
Like I'm brown.
You're actually black. Like you're coon now.
Stop saying that. We're gonna get demonetized.
Me and Cam are not far away shade, like, color-wise, are we?
I genuinely like I tan like. That's a bit
There you go.
ridiculous.
No, this
Okay, the thing
this
is,
guy,
Cam-
this guy fucks.
This is probably because of his lighting, but one side of Cam's face is darker than the other, and it like kind of runs down.
Yes,
That is
CJ,
that is the lighting, CJ. That
Yeah,
is how
that's
light
probably
works. That is how light works. Right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Wait, no, Super Shoot the game.
Are we actually going to talk about Super Shoot the game?
I want to.
Right. Take the lead.
All right. So
Right, can I just, before you do go, I just want to say, because obviously, because I've got my chroma key on CJ, I've basically distorted the image, and for some reason, that's getting picked up on your lights, Jay. So everything right now is really, really sharp, like overly sharp, and overly saturated. So just carry on.
All right. So as you guys know, as of the date we're recording this, I'm not sure when you're putting it up, but it is the 9th
I'll just
of
upload
July.
it, please.
All right, so it's the 10th of July probably when you'll be seeing this of 2018, and that means it's less than a month until Super Shoot the Game comes out. And now, you know, with games, when they want to promote, when games are coming out, the devs usually want to promote their game in the best way they can by showing videos, like showing gameplay and all that. But Team 6, the people behind Super Shoot the Game, they have yet to reveal any gameplay of the game at all. All we've seen is that one 3-second trailer that goes coming August 3rd. So that to me is really sketchy, and it really leads me to believe, and especially in the video I made today.
Oh my god, shameless plug.
Which all 4 of your viewers watched.
Shameless.
Nah, it actually did
It did pretty good because I fucking told you to change the title, you little prick.
No, it was doing good beforehand. But anyway, going back on topic.
I just spilled
Basically,
water all over myself. That was a bit gay.
this leads me to believe that they have something to hide, like especially like that they're hiding a big
The game's
steaming
shit,
turd.
fam. We all know this.
And especially just going back to their last game, Road Rage. Also, by the way, Super Shoot the Game is not open world. and
CJ,
it-
can I just pause you for a second? Jay, can you make yours like a chroma key green?
I'm trying. I was trying to
Right.
look for it earlier. But I'm not-
Carry on, CJ.
But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Basically, their last the open there's no open world in Super Shoot
Keep it
the
like
Game.
that.
And allegedly, they've been working on the game for like 2 years at this point before their last game came out. And I mean, I just also from that 3-second trailer, I've seen like assets and everything that were already used in the last game, like streetlights and everything. And it makes me wonder if they're gonna use the same map from Road Rage in Super Shoot the Game, or like
Sorry,
they're
I'm
gonna
just,
make it like.
I was too
all that.
compelled by, like, you can kind of see
What is that?
when it changes. You can see Ryder's face. Hold up, wait for it to like go a bit darker, and you wait to see it. It's not going darker now.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's not going darker.
Oh.
You can't really see it.
I just look like I'm in blackface.
Right.
yeah.
What's Road Rage?
It's the game they made. It's a game Team 6 made last year, and it was basically an open world biker game where you're like in a biker gang. You have to kill people with like baseball bats and there's races and everything. But the physics
That
are
sounds like
really
Friday night
bad.
to me. Sounds like a litty Friday night
So,
on
yeah,
the job.
The physics are
You know what
really
it
bad.
sounds like?
Ass.
Hang on.
Oh, that hurt my feelings.
Right, so to conclude, no one's gonna buy Super
Yeah,
Street
yeah,
unless they
yeah.
give me a free code.
Yeah, I want you to gag yourself.
No.
Yeah,
Do it.
I want you to eat this. You see this?
What kind of freak ass?
Oh,
I'm not doing that. I have a life.
that was a big one. I'm a big boy. I
Coming
take a
alive.
big
You
cock.
have a
I take big cock.
a girthy one.
Coming alive from the simulation.
CJ, can we actually watch you watch VR porn? Like Elsa porn or like Fortnite porn.
Fortnite porn. Overwatch porn.
Yeah,
That's probably like the
that
biggest.
probably gets me hard.
Where's my oh shit. Where's my
Well, on that note, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Drivecast. What episode is it? Does anyone know?
126.
Oh wow, the VR.
Are you trying to get us a copyright strike, you little bitch? Little bitch. Little bitch.
Bitch.
Little bitch.
You bitch.
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 I can't-
my phone. Fuck.
So we hope you guys enjoy this episode of Drivecast. We back, bitches! We got London on the track.
Shout out to anyone in my house. I swear I must have woken up about 5 people in this area.
Fam, you're saying that.
Whoa, stop.
What about mine?
Shout out to me. People
Shout out to me, you know?
Shout
Shout out to me.
Because I'm just thinking, like, what does this look like to someone? Like, why have I just got lights in my? Why you got your top off, you fucking weirdo?
Right, so if
Can
you
we-
guys...
I got hot. Okay.
I'm gonna find out what episode
Can we end
Drivecast
this?
is. I'm gonna find out what episode of Drivecast this is so we can be factual.
Oh, okay.
Because we always bring in the facts with a Z.
No, my room. I like this aesthetic. I look really like brown.
I
Hey.
said 126. I was correct.
You are correct, my friend. You've got a laser memory. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of D to the R to the I to the V to the E to the Zizzle. Episode 106.
126.
Make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, unsubscribe to CJ. We will see you guys in the next episode. You guys have been awesome.
Whoa.
Stay safe.
Leave your comments in the comment section.
I'm a big dirty bitch. I'm a big dirty slut.
If you made it all the way here, comment, I'm a big dirty bitch.
I'm a big dirty chick.
Walk on.
Fam, you